Welcome to the first American Western show. Some of you older Australian folks may remember some of them on the radio, or more likely if you went to the Saturday afternoon matinees at your local movie theater, where a lot of these type of shows were shown as half-hour shorts. Dr. Sixgun is an American Western radio drama that aired on NBC September 2, 1954 to October 13, 1955. Dr. Ray Matson, Carl Weber, is a frontier physician based in a small western town in the 1870s called Frenchman's Ford. The stories are told by a recurring character named Pablo, Bill Griffiths, a gypsy peddler who has a talking raven named Midnight as his sidekick. As his name implied, Matson was equally at home with using a gun or using his medical skills to solve problems.
Across the rugged Indian territory rides a tall young man on a mission of mercy. His medical bag strapped on one hip, his six-shooter on the other. This is Dr. Sixgun. The National Broadcasting Company brings you another transcribed episode in the exciting adventure series, Dr. Sixgun. Ray Matson, M.D., was the gun-toting frontier doctor who roamed the length and breadth of the old Indian territory. Friend and physician to white man and Indian alike, the symbol of justice and mercy in the lawless West of the 1870s, this legendary figure was known to all as Dr. Sixgun.
In the territory, there is a great deal of law. There is the law of the angry mob with gun and rope, and even the law of the learned judges with book and gavel. But justice, there is a horse of an entirely different color. In my travels through the territory, I have seen law of one sort or another many times. But justice, very seldom. It is as the diamond, priceless, because it is so rare. Who am I to be a philosopher like this? Well, I am Pablo, the gypsy peddler. And I am twice a philosopher. Once, because I am a gypsy, and once, because I am a coward. And this is my friend Midnight. He is a raven, but he too is a philosopher.
Shoot first. No questions.
A philosopher of violence, but also a coward under the feathers. I have, of course, known many brave men, and among these is my friend, Doc Sixgun. I remember a time when we rode together along the trail out past the Mesa Verde.
We'll stop and water over the rise.
Someone is camped at the water hole. Smoke.
You're behind the time. That's Matt Wilder's cabin.
At the Rimrock water hole? When did this happen?
About a month ago. Matt bought the land from the De Blanco estate.
The old Spanish land grant? I didn't know the title was good.
It isn't, except for about 1,000 acres around Rimrock. The decision was handed down by the circuit court back in St. Louis.
But no one in the territory has paid any attention to the De Blanco claims for years.
It's clear title, though. Matt showed me the court order.
Doc, does not Howard Fearing use Rimrock to water his stock?
I suppose so.
Flying Bee is a very big outfit.
Yeah.
They are also traditionalists.
You think Fearing will make trouble for Matt?
Well, there was a man over to the Rio Verde who fenced off a few hundred acres of range. He had a notion to grow wheat.
Yeah, I heard about that. They never proved that Fearing's men did it.
When he was found hanged with a strand of wire from his own fence.
And you think it was Fearing's hired gun?
Doc, it has been a very bad year for small men. Between the drought and the big outfits, there are a lot of men with no jobs and the six gun and an empty belly.
Well, Looks quiet enough now. Come on, we can probably strike Matt for a good cup of coffee. Come on. Come on, Pablo. Hello, Matt.
All right, Mr. Reed. What? Get in the door. You behind. Get inside.
I'm coming.
Now shut the door behind you. Go on.
Matt, what's going on here?
This no good kid busted in on me and... Oh!
I'll do the talking. You, the big one. Drop your gun down.
All right. Take it easy, kid.
Watch your mouth. Drop it. Now get over there with the girl.
What do you want from us?
Shut up, kid.
Listen, fella, what's this all about?
I got a message to deliver to old man Wilder here.
What do you want?
I just want to let you know this here is a very unhealthy place to homestead, see?
Yeah? Who says so?
I do. Look, I'm giving you a nice friendly warning like I'm supposed to. Get out of here, Wilder. Get out fast. Get those fences down and get out.
Listen, you tell Howard Fearing if he wants to talk to me to come himself. Not to send some sniveling baby toting a 6-gun where his diapers ought to be.
You...
Oh, please.
Cut that out.
Listen, mister, you want to argue with me?
That's a pretty big offer for you to make, Sonny, with a gun in your hand.
Yeah, and that's just where it's going to stay. I guess I'll move on. And remember, Wilder, pack up and get. Don't move, mister.
All right.
And just to make sure somebody don't take pot shots at me from the window, you come here. The girl.
Wait a
You
minute.
let my daughter alone.
I ain't going to hurt her. A pretty girl like her. Now, come on, honey.
No, let me go.
Come on.
Oh.
Why, you dirty...
Get back.
Oh!
All right, keep back there, the rest of you. We're going for a little ride, honey.
Let go of me. Let go.
You ain't such a little girl after all. I'm warning you. One shot out these windows and... Now, just don't try it. Come on.
Let go of me.
Gun. Rifle in the closet.
No, it's no good. He's got your daughter, Matt.
Is she hurt bad, Doctor?
My arm.
Let me see it, Matt.
No, Mary, I gotta go after her.
Pablo, take care of him.
Yes, Doctor.
All right, after him, Matt.
Mary.
The gun.
Mary.
Oh, she'll be all right.
I swear, Doc, if he hurts her...
She's all right, Matt. I can see her. She's coming back over the rise.
I'll kill him, Doc.
Just lie back, Matt. I'll go get her. Mary, you all right?
Doc.
No, it's all right. It's all right now. Did he hurt you?
No. Nobody held me, so... He just dropped me off his horse.
Anything hurt your
Oh,
ankle?
no. But I'm so scared. I can't stop shaking it. I mean,
Here, now. Sit down. Right here on the ground. Go ahead.
my dad. What happened? I think I'm going to be sick.
Just put your head down between your knees. Go ahead.
The way he held me. I mean,
It's all right, Mary. Now, don't you worry about it. You're all right. Your father isn't hurt there.
why did he do this, Doc? Why?
I don't know exactly. Can you stand up now?
I think so.
Oh,
Oh,
here. I'll carry you. Now, just hang on. It's all right now, Mary. It's all over.
You sure she's all right, Doc?
She's sleeping, Mr. Wilder.
I put a measure of laudanum in that tea. She'll rest.
That no good baby-faced killer.
Matt, you better get some rest, too.
I'm telling you, Doc. I can take care of myself. If Howard Fearing sends his hired guns out after me, I'll fight back. But my girl...
I know. They want to scare you away from the water hole.
Doc, it's mine. I paid for it. I got the legal title. Just because they've been using this water hole don't mean it's theirs. I told Fearing I'd let him water his stock if he'd guarantee me against loss from broken fences and my own critters. And he wants to be king of the open range like he always been. That's why he sent that miserable coyote after me.
I never saw that one before. Thought I knew most of Fearing's guns by sight.
That was Eddie Baker. He's new.
He seems so young for a hired gun. I was fearing I would not trust my business to a child.
He ain't no child, not Eddie. He's killed as many men as any of Fearing's gunslingers. He's mean, clear through. But so help me. For what he did to Mary, next time I see him, I'll kill him like I would a rattlesnake.
We all rode into Frenchman's Ford. Matt Wilder left Mary at Doc's place, and we all went together to find the sheriff to swear out a complaint. The sheriff at this time was George Hargrove, and a man who looked for him at his office was wasting time. So we went straight to the Bull Run Saloon.
Now, look, Matt, I can swear out a warrant against Eddie for shooting you in the arm. But you know as well as I do, I can't ride on to Fearing's place to serve it.
What's the matter, Sheriff? You afraid to do your duty?
That ain't the point. Before I got near the home ranch, Eddie'd be up in the hills, snug as a bug in a rug.
That's right, Matt. Sheriff's been trying to serve warrants on Fearing's top hand for a year now.
You think I'm going to let that little skunk get away
Now,
with
don't get head up, Matt.
But my daughter...
Now, the girl wasn't hurt. Doc here says she's all right. Now, get off the stove and quit boiling. I'll go down and make out the complaint. Keep it on the books anyway. Just take it easy, Matt.
He's no better than Fearing. Lily-livered no good.
No, he's just being practical, Matt. As long as the big stockmen keep a private army.
Army? I fit in the Army. I got respect for any man that did. North or south, I don't care. But that weasel with that baby face, he wouldn't have the guts to fight in no real war. If I could just get a hold of him.
You talking about anybody I know, mister?
Doc, let go of my arm.
Don't be a fool. Got 8 guns behind me.
Funny how some fellas will shoot their mouths off if they think nobody's listening.
Let me go, Doc.
He's just waiting for you to draw. Look at him. Matt, he'll gun you down.
What's the matter, Wilder? Can't you talk anymore?
Won't do Mary any good for you to get killed.
Well, Mr. Wilder, and your long drink of water friend.
Why don't you go away, Eddie?
Well, I just wanted to say hello to my good friend Wilder.
Listen, Baker.
Yeah? What?
Nothing.
That's what I figured. I just wanted to tell you thanks for your hospitality and that girl of yours.
Doc, hold it.
Makes a real cute little armful on a horse, you know? Kind of.
Matt, no. Let go of him.
Let go of him. Go ahead, let him draw. I got something for him.
Well, I've got something for you. Nobody draw. You men, you're covered. O'Shea, send somebody for the sheriff.
I wouldn't do that. Doc, you can't hold off 8 guns. I'm going to walk right out of that door. You start shooting and a lot of men are going to get hurt.
And get out of here. Get out in a hurry.
All right there, Doc. We'll figure it's a Mexican standoff this time.
Doc, let me...
No. He's right. Let him go.
I'll be back to see you again, Wilder. And that girl of yours. Come on. All right.
You should have shot him down, Doc.
There would have been an awful lot of people hurt. Maybe it's all over, Matt. Come on. You better get back to Mary.
We thought maybe it would blow over, the range war. Eddie Baker wasn't seen for several weeks. There was a rumor that he shot a barkeep in Chisholm City, but no one was really quite sure. And then, on a Saturday afternoon, Sheriff Hargrove called Doc over to his office.
What is it, George?
Matt Wilder.
What happened?
Alfie Pierce brought him in on his buckboard. Shot.
Dead?
Yeah, he took one in the hip and one in the back when he fell. Alfie says the fences was down, stock was gone.
Fearing guns?
I figure. Doc, that ain't it.
Hmm?
I mean all of it.
No.
The girl. What's her name?
Mary.
Pretty little kid.
What happened?
Well, Doc, Alfie was kind of broken up. He's got kids.
Is she alive? What are you waiting for?
You ain't going to be able to help her none, Doc. She's out back.
Well, what are you wasting time for?
Wait a minute here, Doc. She's kind of broken. She's cut up.
She in here? Mary. Mary.
She don't know nobody. Alfie brought her in.
Give me my bag.
Oh.
She was mine. I don't know as I'd want her to live.
She won't.
There ain't nothing you can do, is there, Doc?
No. Just watch her die.
I sent Milt Evers to round up enough riders to go after Eddie Baker. You want to go along?
I'll stay here with Mary.
Okay, Doc.
Go on, go after him.
They brought Eddie Baker in a day later. I saw him ride down the main street, past the livery stable to the lockup. His hands were tied behind him, and his feet tied together under the belly of the horse. There was blood on his face, and the sheriff cut the rope from his feet and pushed him off the horse. He fell into the dust and manure. Then the sheriff dragged him into the jail. It was 2 hours later that they sent for Doc.
In here, Doc.
What happened to him?
He resisted arrest. On your feet, you murderer.
Let him alone.
My arm.
Here, let me see.
Oh.
That's broken. Now, get that shirt off.
Oh.
This arm wasn't broken when he rode into town. Saw him go by the bull run.
He tried to jump me.
He's a liar. He hit me with his rifle butt. Them deputies held me and he hit...
You liar! Don't touch him again. Now, don't touch him.
That ain't all. He kept on hitting me. He had my hands tied to the bars and he was...
Now, stop talking while I set this arm. It's out cold. Give me a bucket of water and some rags.
Oh, now, Doc, don't...
You hurt me.
Milt, get a bucket of water and some rags.
What's the idea?
What's the difference? He was resisting arrest.
Look, George. So help me God, if this man is tortured anymore, I'll swear out a complaint against you and file it with the Territorial Attorney General.
Doc, you're forgetting something. This dirty rotten...
I'm not forgetting anything. I sat with that girl till she died.
This here crawling louse did that.
I know. He'll be tried, and I hope that God he hangs for it.
I don't know, Doc. I mean, a trial's a little chancy. You know that. Howard Fearon puts a lot of money into politics. Maybe it'd be better if he was to get shot trying to escape.
George. Don't do it.
You want this to go on living, Doc. With that pretty little girl lying out there the way she was.
George, I took an oath to save lives. But this is one life I want to see snuffed out like it never happened at all.
Well, then.
But I want him tried and found guilty and hanged according to the law.
I don't know. He ain't gonna be no deader if I bat him behind the ear right now.
That child died because he didn't follow the law. I don't want him murdered. I want to see him executed for his crime.
He's going to kill me. You can't let him do that.
He isn't going to kill you, Eddie. But you're going to die, all right. By the law.
The trial was quick and simple. A Mexican sheep herder had seen Eddie near Remrock Waterhole that morning. Doc testified about Eddie's first assault on Matt Wilder. O'Shea from the Bull Run told of Eddie threatening to come back to get Wilder. His quirt was found at the waterhole. It took the jury 13 minutes to find him guilty, and the judge another 4 to sentence him to hang.
Get up, Eddie.
Leave me alone.
Get up. Doc here's to look at your arm.
It's a laugh. What do you care?
Me? Nothing. Doc's got a conscience.
Let me see it, Eddie.
Holler when you want up, Doc.
Don't hurt none?
It'll mend straight.
Yeah, sure. With me dead.
Feeling sorry for yourself?
I don't know what you've got against me.
You don't. What are you? 19 years old, and you've killed maybe 12 men. And that girl. Animal.
I didn't kill Wilder. Listen, Doc, they can't really hang me for something I didn't do. I wasn't there.
Yeah, how about that quirt?
Well, I mean, I rode past there that morning, see? And then I headed out to the Rio Verde, and listen, I seen a man get hanged once. You gotta help me.
Why?
I never hurt nobody in my life. I mean, not on purpose.
Is this hurting? It's all right.
Listen, he can't do this to me. I mean, I ain't never had nobody. No mother or nothing. They gotta feel sorry for an orphan, don't they?
Keep it in the sling.
You gotta listen to me. You got influence, ain't you? I mean, if you was to tell the governor of the territory, I mean, he could give me a reprieve.
You want me to carry your appeal?
You've got to. I mean, it's me. It's me. Look, Doc, I ain't never had nothing. I never meant to hurt nobody. Not really.
Where are you from?
Back east, New York. My folks moved out here when I was 10.
I did. Thought you never had a mother.
Well, I mean, I never saw her much. That's what I mean.
All right, I'm done with you. You're in fine shape for tomorrow morning. I'll be signing your death certificate, Baker. And I'll be thinking of Mary Wilder.
Oh, now, Doc, I never did nothing to that girl, honest. I never touched her except that time I took her on the horse.
George, let me out of here.
You gotta believe me. I wouldn't hurt that girl. I mean, I liked her, see? I was gonna come calling on her, you know? She was real pretty. I wouldn't do nothing.
Baker, shut up, or I'll kill you myself with my bare hands. George, get me out of here!
It was the morning of the hanging, and I sat in the Bull Run Cafe with Doc, having coffee. O'Shea kept the place open all night to handle the crowd.
Finish up, Pablo.
I'm in no hurry.
Aren't you coming?
It is not like you, Doc, to go to death as if it were a wedding.
It's Eddie Baker being hanged.
I know.
Oh, it's different.
Is it?
Pablo, I saw that girl, Mary Wilder, when Matt first came out of the territory.
She was...
Never mind.
The end of life is always sad. Any life.
What do you mean?
Doc, I've been in many countries. I've seen men die in many places, and I've heard them call to many different gods with their last breath. I do not rejoice in murder.
What do you mean? I kept Baker from being lynched or shot trying to escape. He had a fair trial. He was condemned to death by the law.
Death.
You're sorry for him, is that it?
I'm sorry for you and all of us.
I'll save it.
I will.
Pablo, listen, are you trying to say that Eddie Baker should go scot-free?
Doc, my father was killed by a Basque in a knife fight. By Romany law, I was to kill his murderer.
Did you?
Yes. With the same knife. It did not bring back my father.
I'm not going to sit here listening to this kind of crazy talk.
It's been many years. Well, perhaps you will know what it is to have blood on your hands.
Are you comparing a legal execution with a knife fight between two gypsies?
The blood is the same color.
You're drunk.
Yes, of course.
Start breaking them out!
Go, my friend. You will miss the hanging. And so they hanged Eddie Baker in the morning sunlight. And there was was no one to mourn when they cut the body down, and Doc signed the death certificate and pronounced him dead. And Eddie Baker and the girl Mary were beneath the same ground. I did not speak to Doc that day or the next. I found him the night after in the Bull Run. When I came up to his table, Sheriff Hargrove was talking to him.
Marshal Darrow out of Fort Dale picked them up. There's about 5 of them. Mescalero Apaches. They were scouts with the Army and deserted about a month ago.
Are they sure?
Darrow said one of them had Mary Wilder's ring.
Are they sure?
Darrow got a confession. They come riding through about noon. Is looking to rob the place. Shot down Matt and then the girl. Funny, ain't it? I mean, Eddie Baker, he killed maybe a dozen men. Gets his neck stretched for something he didn't do. Well, it don't matter none. The Army will probably hang those Indians. I guess you'll be glad to hear that, huh, Doc?
Let me alone.
Well, I mean, you were so bound to see the...
Go away.
Well, now you don't have to get riled.
Sheriff, leave him alone.
Now, just who are you pushing, peddler?
Leave him. A man needs to be alone when he first finds blood on his hands.
What?
Leave him.
All right. You sure taking on queer about some no-good killer. I'll see you later, Doc.
Pablo. Yes? Nothing. Yes. There is nothing. I wanted him dead. I didn't want justice. I wanted him dead. You didn't know. I wanted it legal, but I wanted him dead. I'm going to get a drink. Shall I bring the bottle?
No, Excuse me.
Wait. Doc! Doc, where are you going? Doc! He rode out into the night, and he was gone for 2 days. And then, suddenly, he appeared at the cabin of Bob Calder, whose wife was in labor. Doc delivered the baby girl and placed the baby in the arms of the weary mother. Then he rode back to Frenchman's Ford and began life again.
You have been listening to Dr. Six Gun. Doc Six Gun is played by Carl Weber and Pablo by William Griffith. Today's script was written by Ernest Kenoy. Heard in the cast were Edwin Bruce as Eddie, Denise Alexander as Mary, William Keene as Matt, and Wendell Holmes as the sheriff.
Tales of the Texas Rangers old-time radio show was a procedural drama based on actual modern Texas Rangers. Star Joel McCrea lead as Texas Ranger Jace Pearson, who used the forensic science to track and identify the criminals. Joel McCrea was not only a popular Hollywood star, but he also was a proficient horseman as he worked as a ranch hand as a teen. Though most of the criminals used automobiles, the plot would often necessitate Pearson riding his faithful horse, Charcoal. The clop, clop, clop of sound effects would indicate Charcoal's much-awaited gallop.
Wheaties presents Joel McCrea in Tales of the Texas Rangers. On stage tonight, transcribed from Hollywood, another in the Wheaties big parade of exciting half-hour presentations. Tales of the Texas Rangers, starring Joel McCrea as Ranger Pearson. Texas, more than 260,000 square miles, and 50 men who make up the most famous and oldest law enforcement body in North America. files of the Texas Rangers come these stories based on fact. Only names, dates, and places are fictitious for obvious reasons. The events themselves are a matter of record. Case for tonight, Apache Peak.
Shortly after midnight on October 4 last, a late model blue sedan came to a stop at a traffic light on the highway leading southwest out of Wichita Falls, Texas. While the driver waited for the light to change, a figure moved out from the shadows and tapped on the window of the sedan.
Going toward Haskell, mister?
I didn't hear you with the window up.
Said you're going near Haskell.
I don't know. Where is it? I'm headed for El Paso.
That's my direction. How about a ride?
All right. Hop in.
Thanks. Mighty hard getting a ride. There's your light.
Uh-huh. How far is Haskell?
About 80 miles. But I'm going past there up near Apache Peak. Ain't far from El Paso.
Oh, good. Keep me from falling asleep at the wheel. I gotta be in El Paso in the morning. Business appointment.
You from the east?
New York. I guess the accent sticks out, huh?
Reckon so. What kind of business you in?
Salesman. Airplane parts.
You get tired, I can drive a spell.
Hey, that's a thought. As soon as I start to feel sleepy.
Sure. Give you a chance to rest up. Good.
It's almost 4 a.m. Be in Odessa in 20 minutes. You want to take over?
Yeah.
Guess I can stop any place on this highway. Haven't seen another car in an hour. Yeah, I'll slide over. You get out and come around.
No, you get out.
Well, it's just as easy for you. Hey, what are you doing with that gun?
I need money, mister, and you got it.
Oh, sure. I'll give it to you. I won't report it or anything. I'll give...
I know you won't, mister.
Oh!
Tales of the Texas Rangers will continue in just a moment.
Tonight, as special guest, Wheaties champion Robert Feller.
Well, by golly, it's always fun to meet a Wheaties champion, especially when he's as nice a guy as Bob Feller of the Cleveland Indians. Hello, Bob.
Hi, Ed. Are you seeing many baseball games these days?
Oh, you bet, Robert. You eating many Wheaties these days?
What a question. Well, I've been eating Wheaties for breakfast almost every morning for pretty close to 20 years.
And still going strong, huh?
Wheaties are mighty tough to get tired of. I guess Wheaties and milk and fruit will still be my favorite breakfast when I'm too old to climb out of the dugout.
Well, that won't be happening for a lot of years yet. Thanks for stopping in, Bob Feller, a real Wheaties champ.
You know, gentlemen of the audience, this man Feller has a wife and youngsters even as you and I. His paycheck depends in part on healthy energy, just as ours does. Get my point? We need 'em too. Wheaties, breakfast of champions. Get yours.
And now, back to our story with Joel McCrea as Ranger Pearson.
The body was discovered at 8:15 on the morning of October 4 when a fence rider from a ranch bordering the highway found it in the brush at the side of the road. He reported the discovery to the nearest sheriff, and the sheriff relayed the report to the Texas Rangers. Ranger Jace Pearson was assigned to the case.
There's the body, Jace, under that sheet.
Where was he found, Sheriff?
Oh, about 11 miles east. Must have been dumped out of a car.
Shot 3 times. 1 through the neck and 2 through the chest. 38 caliber?
Yeah. Coroner got 2 of the slugs.
Any identification on him?
Or anything, Jace. Whoever done it even stole the clothes off of him. Except in his shirt and shorts and necktie. And a pack of cigarettes from his shirt pocket. It's all there on the table.
Laundry mark on the shirt. That might help.
Coroner say how long he's been dead?
Oh, since 4 or 5 o'clock this morning.
These cigarettes, were they on him?
Yeah. Why? They help any?
Maybe a whole lot. Look at this. New York State tax stamp.
Can you make something out of that?
Only the one pack of cigarettes wouldn't have lasted him from New York to Texas. Probably bought a carton or two to start out on the trip. So his home might be in New York.
I reckon an awful lot of folks buy a carton of smokes in New York, Chase.
Yeah, but it's a place to start checking that laundry mark on the shirt. It'll be a help if we know who this man is. I'll send these things into the lab, and they can send a wire photo of the mark to New York.
The coroner has some pictures of the body.
We'll put them on the wire, too. You got a deputy to get the stuff to my headquarters?
Sure thing. I'll call him.
Good. And we can get out and check the scene.
Had this little piece of road here blocked off so no cars could wipe out anything.
Good.
Yeah, body was found right in here.
Yeah. Dragged in from the road. Back of the heel scraped along there. Clothing caught on the mesquite here.
What you picking off there?
Little fibers of cloth snagged on here. Lab men get through with these and may be able to tell us what kind of duds they came from. Let's take a look at the road.
Fresh set of tire tracks here on the shoulder, James.
Yeah, I noticed them. Impression's deeper here. That's where they stopped. Look at the marks around it. Body was dragged out of the driver's side.
That makes a difference?
Means the dead man must have been driving. So, there's a good chance it was his own car.
I reckon that adds up. But how about the other fella?
Could be the same old story, Sheriff. A hitchhiker.
Man'd have to be a fool to take a hitchhiker through this country, hadn't I?
Yeah, a fool. The trouble with fools is most of them are nice people. And they don't rate being killed. I'm going to play a hunch. Make some work for the highway patrol. Captain Stimson's out on investigation. I may be able to reach him in his car. Unit 10 to Unit 3. Unit 10 to Unit 3.
Unit 3 to Unit 10. Go ahead.
Unit 10 requests all points bulletin alerting highway patrol and ranger units to stop and check all cars carrying New York State plates.
The exhibits you sent over have arrived, Unit 10. You're not just going on that cigarette tax stamp, are you?
No, Captain. Murder scene check indicates victim was driving car he was dumped from. Might have been his own.
Worth trying, I guess.
How soon can we expect report from New York police on laundry mark?
That'll take time, Unit 10. We'll keep you informed. Lab reports on exhibits in a few hours.
We'll keep Unit 3 informed if I move from this location. Unit 10, 10-4. After the 10-4 sign-off, I took the sheriff back to his office. And that's when the hardest part of all hunting began, the waiting. The only thing we knew for certain about the murder car was that it was heading west on the road to Pecos and El Paso. I headed the same way, stopping to ask questions at all the smaller towns, the cafes and service stations, wherever a man on the run might risk stopping. But all the answers were the same.
New York car, you say? No, I don't think so. I only saw one out of state all day from Oklahoma.
Well, thanks anyhow, ma'am.
Sit down, have some coffee and pie, Ranger.
Oh, no, thanks. I gotta find a fellow.
No, I'd sure remember it if a New York car stopped here for gas. Ain't seen one in a week.
Well, thanks.
Ranger.
Yeah?
The kid runs the pumps a little while I'm eating. Maybe he saw something. I'll call him out if you want to wait till I catch this fella's windshield.
I'll wait.
Oh, well, gee, I just remembered. The kid didn't sell nothing today.
Well, thanks anyhow.
We've been working on the road all day, senor. But we don't notice nobody.
I guess not. They detour past you 50 yards away.
Only one who might see is Juan. He holds the red flag when a car is coming down there. But he don't even look up. He just hears the car and wave the flag. He's too busy looking in the movie magazine at Betty Gravel.
Well, thanks. By nightfall, I was just outside of Pecos. I pulled into a grove near an auto court, a place I'd stopped before. Let my horse Charcoal get down from the trailer. Barely got him unloaded when another Ranger car pulled in.
That's you, Case?
Yeah, Kurtz.
Howdy, boy.
Howdy. What are you doing down here?
Got a teletype for you from headquarters. Murdered man's name was Roger Bradley, New York City. Salesman for an airplane parts outfit.
Identification positive?
Yeah, pictures, laundry mark, everything. Police up there traced the laundry mark. Bradley's wife identified the pictures.
Was married, huh?
Yeah, 3 kids. Car you're looking for is a 49 blue sedan. Here's the make and license number.
Highway Patrol hasn't spotted it anyplace.
Nope, but here's a list of all the clothes Bradley was carrying on the trip. Pretty complete description.
Can't understand why nobody's seen that car.
Killer might have gotten out of the state. Had a good start.
I hope that isn't it, Kurtz. 3 kids have to grow up without their father because of a gun-crazy hitchhiker.
I know what you mean.
Let's hope he's still in Texas. If he is, we're going to find him.
In just a moment, we continue with Tales of the Texas Rangers, starring Joel McCrea as Ranger Jace Pearson.
Next time you bounce out of bed in the morning, well, you do bounce, don't you? Well, okay, let's say next time you get out of bed, head for the Wheaties. Sure enough, head for the Wheaties at 7 a.m. and see how they help at 11 a.m. Yes, they can make a difference at 11. And they can make a difference at the breakfast table. It's likely to be a pleasanter place with a bowl full of crisp little old Wheaties next to your spoon and napkin. The reason is, of course, the wholehearted whole wheat taste of Wheaties. You're getting all that sweet as a nut whole wheat flavor in every Wheaties flake. Pour on the milk, put on the fruit, and dig right in to one of the finest openings any morning ever had. And then, see how much finer the morning itself goes when you've started with breakfast of champions. That full whole wheat really gives with vitality, you know. There's a whole kernel of wheat in every flake of Wheaties. Now see if you don't notice the difference all morning long. Less of the mid-morning slump, more of the up-and-at-'em punch. Know what I mean? All right, then. You try it. Tomorrow, next day, for a good breakfast, for a good morning, start with Wheaties. See yourself how Wheaties at 7 can help at 11.
And now, back to Joel McCrea as Ranger Jace Pearson in Tales of the Texas Rangers.
For the next 5 days, Ranger Kurtz and I worked our way west, but we couldn't get a lead. Then on the afternoon of October 10th, 6 days after the killing, we stopped and unloaded our horses at Eagle Flat in Hudspeth County.
Blacksmith's place is open?
Yeah. Horses can drink from his trough.
Hey, look at that poke leaning against the fence there. They sure do get dutied up for Saturday night in Eagle Flat.
Yeah. Kurtz.
What's the matter, Jace?
That suit. No poke ordered that through a mail catalog.
Hey, it looks like one of the suits described on the teletype.
Yeah. Let's find out. Howdy.
Well, howdy, Ranger.
You live around here?
Work the Longbow Ranch up near Tabernacle Mountain.
Mighty nice suit you got there. Kind of fancy.
Yeah, ain't it a dinger? From New York, the label says.
New York, huh?
Where'd you get that suit?
Well, I bought off... Now, wait a minute, Ranger. This ain't stolen, is it?
Yeah. And the man it was stolen from is dead.
Oh, man, I just bought off when a fella come by the bunkhouse.
When?
Oh, reckon it was about 5 days ago. He drove up with a bunch of stuff.
Drove up? And what kind of car?
New sedan, blue.
Notice the license plates on the car?
No.
What do you think, Kurtz?
He's seen our man or he is our man.
Were you on the ranch October 4th?
Well, this is the first time I've been off in it in 2 weeks. I bought the suit, I'm telling you.
Did you buy anything else?
Yeah, this.
Watch your hands.
Well, I'm just going to show you a wallet the fella threw in with the suit.
All right, get it out.
There you are. Paid him $10 for the suit and this.
Identification cards and everything stripped. You take anything out of here?
Well, nothing to take. It's just like I got it, except for my $5 in the money pocket.
Killer took all identification out of these celluloid card holders. Might have left some prints.
Ought to get it to the lab.
Yeah. All right, you better come with us.
Now, look, I didn't do nothing. Where are you taking me?
To the sheriff. You can give us a description of the man who sold you the duds. If your story checks out clean, you got nothing to worry about.
Oh, it's clean.
All right. Let's go. We checked the Pope's story at the Longbow Ranch. He was telling the truth, all right. At least we had a description of the man we were after now. About 20 years old, dark, 5'7", about 140 pounds. Kurtz and I unloaded our horses.
Which way we riding, Jace? Come on, boy.
Head north, into the hills.
Road peters out past this ranch, though. Nothing but a trail. We might have turned back to the highway.
Alarm was out by the time he passed here. If he went back to a main highway, the car would have been spotted. He's ditched it up here someplace. Well, let's ride. Get up there, Charco.
Get up there, boy.
Yeah. We rode north from the Longbow Ranch, cutting into the mesquite and cedar that flanked the road. It got thinner and more difficult. And just when I thought we might have come too far, we spotted the car.
Reckon that's it?
Let's see. Smart. Rolled it into a gully and then covered it with dirt and grass.
Nobody'd ever spot it unless they were looking for it.
Let's get back and report it. Unit 10 to KTXP. Unit 10 to KTXP.
KTXP to Unit 10. Go ahead, Unit 10.
Unit 10 located blue sedan registered to Roger Bradley, New York City.
All right, Unit 10. KTXP just got report of fingerprints on celluloid card holders of wallets sent in. One said definitely those of murder victim Roger Bradley. Another said identified as being those of Lenny Tripper. Please repeat, Lenny Tripper.
Lenny Tripper. Any line on him?
Wanted by Army for desertion 3 months ago. Description checks. Last known address, lived with father and mother in cabin near Apache Peak.
Car was found north of Longbow Ranch. Apache Peak's about 10 miles further in. We'll investigate. Unit 10, 10-4. It was sundown when we got started. The country we had to go through is tough enough by daylight. It was after midnight when we sighted Apache Peak, but there was still a light on in a cabin nested down in the foothills.
Whoa, boy. Easy. Keep kind of late hours up here, don't they?
Too late. Better tie the horses to that mesquite. We'll slip up and look in.
Yeah. Come on, boy. Jace. Something moving over there.
See it? Looks like a couple of burros. Let's take a look at them.
You boys up past your bedtime, ain't you?
Feel them. Both in a sweat, all caked up. Been packing, too. Yeah, the hair's matted down where they've been cinched.
Funny time to be working burros.
Yeah. Come on. Let's see the house.
Look through the window. Man-eaten. Not our boy, though. Too old.
Must be Tripper's father. Look, there's the old lady, too. You go around the back way, and I'll go in through the front. Wait till you hear me knock and get in.
Right.
Open up.
Who's there?
Texas Ranger.
What do you want?
Lenny Tripper.
He ain't here.
Mind if I come in and make sure?
Let him in.
Come on. Oh, what?
Just another ranger at the back, Mrs. Tripper. You want to let him in, too?
Go ahead, Mom. Don't mind if I finish eating, do you?
No, go right ahead. This your regular mealtime?
I eat when I want to.
Nothing out back, Jace.
Where's your boy, Mr. Tripper?
You're the ranger. You find him.
We ain't seen him in a year since he joined the army.
You haven't seen him in the last 3 months, either. Since he deserted from the army.
You heard what she said. Get me a smoke, Mom.
If you want to help your boy, you better help us.
All right. I'll help you. He's in Mexico.
Been there more than a month.
Mexico, huh? Thanks. Mind if I have one of those cigarettes, Mr. Tripper?
Yeah, I mind. Reckon you can buy your own?
Well, I just got a hankering for one of those. Can't always get a cigarette like that.
What do you mean, Ranger?
A New York tax stamp on the pack, Tripper. Those cigarettes were stolen from a murdered man 6 days ago.
Murdered man?
Shut up!
What were you doing with those burros outside? They've been packing.
I was bringing some stuff down. Been prospecting up the peak.
Abandoned silver mines up there, Jace.
Is your son hiding out one of those mines, Tripper? Were you packing supplies to him?
I told you what I was doing.
That boy's wanted for murder, and if you're smart, you'll take us to him and tell him to surrender.
Do what they say, Pa. Do what they say.
Shut up!
Leave her alone.
I didn't know about the murder. He just said the army was after him.
Come on, Kurtz. We better go up after him.
Oh, don't hurt
Go
me.
ahead, Ranger.
Don't hurt me.
Go after him. He'll kill you, that's what he'll do. He'll kill you.
We had to go up on foot. It was too treacherous for the horses, and trailing over that rocky ground in the darkness slowed us to the crawling speed of an overfed snake. There got to be less earth and more rock, and the burro tracks grew fainter. So we tried to pick them up by moonlight and flashlight.
It could have gone in any direction from here, Jace. Can't pick up a mark.
Seems to level off a bit on that shelf ahead. Might be a narrow trail there.
Hope so. Getting steeper.
Not too steep for burros. Kurtz.
What?
That dwarf oak here. Flash your light. Yeah, that's it. Hold it.
Anything?
Yeah. Branch bent. It's been brushed. Look here, been nibbled a bit, too. Recent. Torn leaves are still fresh.
Well, we're headed right, then. Must have gone straight ahead between those big rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it, all right. Look at the side of the rock.
Flecks of mica peeled off. Little fiber stuck.
Burra pack ropes must have scraped it.
Let's keep going. We finally reached the summit where the oaks and cedars fought for whatever slight grip their roots could get on the earth between the rocks. Dawn found us on a high shelf facing a rise that led to the open mouth of an abandoned silver mine.
Trail leads straight enough now.
Yeah.
He's there, Jace.
Yeah, but 20 feet back in. He could pick us off and we'd never even get to see him. Stay down and keep the hole covered.
What are you going to do?
Just call him out. Tripper! Lenny Tripper!
He ain't going to answer, Jace.
You can't get out, Tripper.
Stay down, Jace.
How he's got a rifle as well as that .38 he killed Bradley with.
You gonna come out, Tripper?
Why don't you come in, Ranger?
If we'd only packed a stick of dynamite, he'd come out soon enough or be buried in there.
Maybe the idea of dynamite would be enough. Go over down the shelf and let him see you just once on the way. Not long enough to draw a bead. Maybe we can bluff him.
Why don't you go down and let me...
It's my idea. I'll stay. Go ahead.
Be careful, Jace.
You missed him, Tripper.
I won't miss the next one.
You're not gonna get another shot. He went down to our burrows to get some dynamite. We're gonna seal you in there, Tripper. You better come out.
How do I know you ain't gonna kill me on sight?
I won't if you do what I tell you. Leave your rifle in there and come out with your hands clasped behind your head.
Put your rifle up on a rock where I can see it, and it's a deal.
All right, Tripper. Now come out.
He came out of the shaft slowly, first a blur, then into the light with his hands behind his head. I got up and he walked toward me. He wasn't wearing a gun belt, but there was something in the way he moved that made me keep my hands close to my holsters. Then he made a quick sidestep, and his hands came from behind his head, and I caught the glint of a .38.
I'm all right.
Get a bed?
Gun, hand, and arm. Put a tourniquet on, and we'll take him down.
What's the matter with you, Jace? You look kind of funny.
Just thinking of his folks down there. His mother and even the old man. Just trying to help him because he belongs to them in spite of everything he's done.
Folks are like that.
We got to bring him in and break their hearts.
Yeah. Makes you wonder why he ever wanted to wear a badge.
Until you remember the man he killed and the 3 kids who'll have to grow up without him. That makes you know you couldn't ever want to do anything but wear a badge.
There's a tourniquet. That'll hold him.
All right, Tripper, on your feet. Let's go.
A ballistic check of the .38 that Lenny Tripper carried showed it to be the murder weapon used in the slaying of Roger Bradley. With that and other evidence accumulated by Ranger Pearson and the department, Tripper was convicted and sentenced to death in the electric chair.
Well, Joel, you did a fine job of clearing up that case.
Frank, I've got a little mystery at home. Maybe you can help me.
Well, glad to try, Joel.
Well, it's the case of the disappearing Wheaties. Every once in a while, when I'm all set for a breakfast bowl of Wheaties, my cook says, "Sorry, we're fresh out."
Why, that's no mystery. Wheaties are so good, so crisp, so loaded with natural, sunny, whole wheat flavor, they just don't last long.
Yes, I know, but what can I do?
Well, you can get up early before anyone else gets at the Wheaties, or buy 2 or 3 boxes at a time.
I think you hit it, Frank. Many thanks.
Good night, and thank you, Joel McCrae.
Next week, Joel McCrae in another authentic reenactment of a case from the files of the Texas Rangers. Joel McCrae will soon be seen in the MGM production Stars and My Crown. Tonight's cast included Tony Barrett, Bill Johnstone, Sam Edwards, Paul Duboff, Byron Kane, and Virginia Gregg.
Have Gun Will Travel. The story is about a man in the Old West named Paladin who is a gun for hire with ethics. He even did some jobs for free when he felt that someone who couldn't afford his fee was being overtly oppressed by evildoers of the West. Paladin collected plenty for his services though, as he lived in the upscale Carlton Hotel in San Francisco.
I came here to tell you I'm not an executioner. It doesn't feel good to kill a man. Not a bit good. But your husband didn't leave me any choice.
have gun, will travel. Starring Mr. John Daner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin.
Sounds wonderful. And then, Mr. Paladin?
And then, perhaps a cordial for a nightcap.
I do believe I'll be looking forward to this evening a great deal, Mr. Paladin.
And I, too.
Mr. Paladin.
Oh, what?
I've been looking for you. I find you.
Hey, boy, your timing is abysmal.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Paladin, but credit must go to mailman. He just brings special delivery letter for you.
Excuse me, my dear.
What?
Oh, say, I'll meet you in the lounge later.
Well.
Oh, she in very high dungeon.
Dudgeon.
Esau, that's what I say. Very high dungeon.
Dear Mr. Paladin, I need you for an important assignment immediately, and so forth. There's a $3,000 bonus for you upon completion. Something. I appreciate you seeing you at your earliest convenience. So, very truly yours, E.J. Randolph, Coloma Bank. Coloma.
Oh, you there not long ago, yes?
Oh, yes, about 2 months ago.
Oh, yes. Here your 2 tickets for opera tonight.
I'll take them back, hey, boy.
Yes. What?
I'm leaving for Coloma tonight.
Oh, must be real big trouble to interfere with lady who was almost kissed.
And wire Mr. Randolph. Tell him I'm on my way.
Dandruff bothers most men, most women, too, so listen. Today, you can get rid of embarrassing dandruff in just 3 minutes. Yes, with Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo. Unsightly dandruff's gone in 3 minutes. It's the quickest, easiest of all leading shampoos. That's not all. Using Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away. Simply apply in the unique Fitch manner. Before you wet hair, rub in 1 minute. This way, Fitch shampoo penetrates right down to the scalp. Next, add water. Lather 1 minute to wash every trace of dandruff out of your hair. Then rinse 1 minute. All that loosened dandruff goes down the drain. In 3 minutes with Fitch, 1 rubbing, 1 lathering, 1 rinsing, dandruff's gone. And never forget, gentle Fitch can also leave your hair up to 35% brighter. To get rid of dandruff problems forever, brighten hair too, use Fitch regularly. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today, only 59 cents.
Coloma was a poor excuse for a town. It's out alone and awkward in the center of a dry, scorched plain with a few ranches stretching back towards the low mesas behind it. I'd been there before, and I killed a man there. I didn't like the town. I didn't like the people. But Randolph had offered me a lot of money. I found him sitting behind his desk at the bank.
Well, Paladin, sure good to see you.
Hello, Mr. Randolph.
Sit down.
Thank you.
How about a little rye to cut the dust, huh?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Hey, didn't waste any time getting here.
The distance between San Francisco and Coloma is shorter when there's a $3,000 fee involved.
Right to the point. That's what I like about you, Paladin. That's why I sent for you. Well, here's luck.
Thank you. So, what can I do for you, Mr. Randolph?
You did a job for John Griffin about 2 months ago. He hired you to bring back Steve Morrow. Remember him?
You don't forget someone you've killed.
Didn't mean any offense.
No, I'm not offended. Morrow tried to kill me. I had to kill him. Griffin wanted Morrow because Morrow had killed his son. What's that got to do with you?
Morrow robbed this bank before he killed that Griffin boy. He took $30,000.
I still don't see the connection.
Paladin, I've got to have that $30,000 back by the first of the month, or I'll lose everything I own.
And you need help.
Yes, I need help. Badly. 15 years of hard work, building a business and a name for myself, gone, just like that. Gone and signed over to John Griffin.
John Griffin? Well, how does he figure in this?
He's the biggest depositor the bank has. He knows about the stolen money, and he's using that knowledge. He's given me notice that he wants to withdraw $30,000 on the 1st. If I don't have it, the deed to this building and most of the other property the bank owns will be signed over to him. And I don't have it, Mr. Paladin.
Well, then, that makes my job fairly easy.
Well, how's that?
Find Morrow's widow. She must have the money, or at least know where it is.
I don't think so. She's still living in that cabin up there on the mesa. Well, the sheriff and I have been up a dozen times searching the place, trying to talk her into telling us where it is. She hasn't got the money. If she had it, she'd have left Coloma and gone someplace else to spend it. Either that or at least paid up the back taxes on the farm.
Huh. I thought for sure Rose had that money.
Rose?
Steve Morrow's widow.
You mean Lucy Morrow. Her name's Lucy.
Oh? I'm going to check into the hotel and freshen up a bit.
And then what?
Ride out and talk to Lucy Morrow. Morning, Mr. Randolph.
Yes?
Good afternoon, Miss Morrow. I'm Paladin.
Did you think I could forget you, Mr. Paladin?
No, I suppose not. I'd like to talk to you, if I may.
I'm going to work on the rose garden. You can talk there if you wish.
Yes, I noticed them as I rode up. They're beautiful.
They are. It's an eastern variety, Calinaris.
Oh? Must be rather difficult to grow them out here.
Oh, it's worth the trouble to have one lovely thing here. They were a present from Steve. He brought me some cuttings after one of his trips back east.
Why have you stayed on here?
Simple. There's nowhere else to go and no money to go with.
Your husband took $30,000 from the Coloma Bank. It's never been found.
This house was turned inside out. Do you think I'd be living here like this if I had $30,000?
Perhaps not.
I don't know anything about that money, Mr. Paladin.
I don't mean to bother you, Mrs. Morrow.
Why do you bother me then? You knew this before you came out here.
I killed Steve. If it hadn't been me, it would have been somebody else, somewhere else. He was an outlaw, a killer. I suppose I wanted to come here and tell you that I'm not an executioner. I was bringing him in, and he went for his gun. Doesn't feel good to kill a man. Not a bit good.
I know you're not the kind to kill for the sake of another notch on your gun, but Steve was my husband. Please don't come back here again. Or if you have to, wait until I'm gone.
You're leaving?
Yes. They're auctioning the place for $276 back taxes. Oh, don't look so pained. I'll get along. Maybe it'll be best. Get out of here, Paladin. Leave me alone, please.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Morrow.
I'm a mean widow, kid.
And are you pleased with yourself?
Sure, 'cause I'm a germ. A bathroom germ. Bathrooms is where the meanest germs get to live. Do I have fun causing odor and spreading disease?
Well, you better watch out, son, or your landlady may find out about Lysol brand disinfectant.
Lysol?
No, Lysol.
That's what I said. Lysol.
Well, anyway, a lot of women are finding that a dash of Lysol in their cleaning suds every week wipes out nasty bathroom disease germs like you, disinfects from one cleaning to the next as no other product can, wipes out many deadly viruses, too. Lysol makes every cleaner work better. It's the easy, modern way to get bathrooms really clean and free of odors.
Lysol can do that?
And what's more, now, besides regular Lysol, there's a new sweet-smelling, pine-scented Lysol, and they're both out to get you.
Hey, was you ever a mean little kid?
One more remark like that, and I'll open this bottle of Lysol.
Help!
The Griffin Ranch was the same as it had been, old and solid and well kept. Run by a man who was old and solid and tough. A man who had lost one son by Steve Morrow's gun and had one son left. A man who could not forget or forgive.
Well, you look about the same, Paladin. Come on in, set a spell.
I'd just soon sit out here in the fresh air, Mr. Griffin.
Fine, fine. What brings you back to these parts?
$30,000.
Stolen money, eh? A lot of people like to get their hands on that. You ought to have a pretty good idea where it might be.
Why do you say that?
Well, you were the last person to be with that murdering fool. The way I had it figured, Morrow had the money with him when you killed him. I hear you've been living pretty high on the hog up in San Francisco.
Those are harsh words, Griffin.
Oh, now, don't get itchy. I was just only joshing. You wouldn't be back here if you had it.
Steve Morrow didn't have that money when I found him. And according to his wife, he didn't even have it when he left the farm.
Oh, you talked to her?
I just came from there.
Well, it takes a lot of nerve for a man to go up and talk to the wife of somebody he killed. Hey, you suppose Steve Morrow hid it on that farm of his?
Mr. Randolph and the sheriff searched it.
I know. Old Randolph's getting fidgety. A while back, he got the idea that Morrow buried the money up on the mesa. You never saw such digging and poking around. I swear the mesa's 10 feet shorter on account of it.
That farm adjoins your property, doesn't it?
Yeah. On the south. Why?
I hear it's up for auction. Should be worth at least a couple of $1,000s to you.
I'll get it for $276. The taxes.
Someone will outbid you at that price.
I don't reckon so, Paladin. Nobody else is going to bid on it. Those who can afford to bid on it don't have any use for that farm.
Randolph might have use for it.
Ah, that old pussyfoot. He wouldn't know how to plant potatoes.
He might know how to dig for stolen money.
Hey, tell me something, Paladin. You working for Randolph?
Maybe. Maybe not.
You are working for him. I might have known. You know, I'd just assume the money doesn't get back to the bank.
Oh?
I'd lose about $60,000 in holdings that belong to it. Those holdings will be mine come the first of the month. Well, that's not a pretty way to talk, but at least it's the truth.
I see. What happens to Randolph, then?
Out in the cold where he deserves to be. If I ran my ranch like he runs that bank, I'd have been out of business a long time ago.
Well, getting close to sundown, I think I'll be heading back to town.
No, Paladin, I hate to see a man like you working on the dark side of the fence. I thought you always roamed the green fields.
Which are the green fields, Griffin?
Mine are.
By the way, you buy that farm just for the taxes. Steve Morrow's widow won't get a cent.
Well, now, ain't that a downright shame?
She didn't kill your son, Griffin.
No, but her husband did. And all I hope is that his kin are going to suffer on account of it. That's how I feel about Morrow and her.
Come in.
Paladin?
Well, Mr. Randolph.
You, make it a habit staying up this late?
I do my best thinking when the town's settled for the night.
You've covered a lot of ground today. Getting discouraged?
Did you come here to discourage me?
Yeah, there's a lot of territory between Coloma and the Mesa. Morrow could have hidden that money anywhere.
Not without telling his wife.
Now, since when does a killer stop to worry about his wife?
Randolph, whatever you want to say about Morrow, he loved his wife. He'd have wanted to make sure she was provided for him. Why, he even spoke about her when he was dying. His last words were, Rose, tell her that... Wait a minute. Tell her...
What are you talking about?
Randolph, that money's up there on the farm.
You mean she does have it?
She doesn't know it, but it's there.
Where is it, then? Why, we've torn that place apart.
You just didn't dig in the right spot. I'm going up there now and get your money. You wait here.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
And I'll be digging by 2.
Now there's a luxury car that fits regular parking spaces in ordinary garages that's easy to handle in traffic. It's America's compact luxury car, the Ambassador by Rambler. Now, medium-priced car buyers can have the room, comfort, luxury, and performance they expect in a fine car, but without excessive length, width, and bulk. If other medium-priced cars have sized and priced you out of the market, then you owe it to yourself to test our best. American Motors' finest, the luxuriously compact Ambassador. Note the quality construction and careful attention to detail. Thrill to the superbly responsive 270-horsepower V8 engine. Enjoy luxury features like individually adjustable front seats that glide back and forth separately. 5 minutes at the wheel of an Ambassador will change your ideas about luxury cars. Test our best, the Ambassador V8 by Rambler. Finest car ever priced so close to the lowest. See, drive the luxurious Ambassador now at Rambler dealers.
When I dismounted at Lucy Morrow's, I thought I heard a horse nicker in a nearby clump of cottonwoods. I waited, but all was quiet except for the wind through the trees. Lucy Morrow was a light sleeper. She answered my second knock.
What do you want?
Put the shotgun down, Miss Morrow.
What are you doing here this time of night?
The money. It's here on the farm.
We've been through that before, Paladin. They ripped my place apart. Every floorboard, every inch of this cabin, the yard's full of holes. You saw it this afternoon.
I know, Mrs. Morrow, but...
The money isn't here. Look, this is my last night in the only home I ever had, and I don't mean to be bothered.
Mrs. Morrow...
Now get away from here before I blast that shirt right off your back.
You wouldn't have to leave tomorrow if I find the money.
I'm not wasting any more words with you.
Miss Morrow, in your rose garden, is there a bush not doing well?
Paladin, it's late and it's cold.
Answer me, is there?
Well, yes, there is one, but what's that got to do with the money?
Flowers need soil at their roots, Miss Morrow, not gold.
What?
You get me a shovel, I'll show you what I mean. You know, it took me a while to figure out that a dying man wouldn't call his wife Rose. Her name was Lucy. Hold the lamp a little closer. I think we've got it. Now. Yeah, this is it. A leather bag from the Coloma Bank.
We'll open it.
Yeah.
Gold coins.
$30,000 worth.
Here in the rose garden all the time.
Drop that.
Huh?
Raise your hand.
What?
Come on, do what I say. Good. Now just stand steady. All right, Cleet. Let's move in. Keep that light high, woman, so as we can see you both.
Lucy.
Yes.
When I say the word, throw that lamp at them high, eye level, then hit the ground fast. I'll say when.
All right.
Now.
No more! Don't shoot again.
Just stand easy, mister.
You shot him. You shot my boy.
I didn't have much choice.
Cleet, boy. Are you hurt bad?
I'll be all right, Pa.
I'll get you for this, Paladin.
Don't try anything foolish, Mr. Griffin. You're already in enough trouble.
I'm in trouble.
Trying to hijack stolen money, trespassing, attempted murder.
Paladin, there's someone coming.
Yeah, I heard him. I think it's Randolph.
Randolph?
He knew I was coming out here. He probably couldn't stand waiting in town. After all, the money belongs to his bank.
Paladin! Paladin, you all right?
Yes, we're all right. We're over here, Mr. Randolph.
Well, what happened? What was all the shooting?
Well, there was a little discussion as to who was going to get that bank's money. I won.
You mean you have the money? You found it, all of it?
I think so. Here.
Oh, good. Good, that's it right enough.
Now, in regards to my fee, Mr. Randolph.
Yes?
I want you to give it to Lucy.
What?
Lucy?
I think a woman ought to be able to keep her home if she wants to. At the auction tomorrow, you can decide whether you want to stay or leave this charming town.
Thank you, Paladin.
As for you, Griffin, get your boy back to your own ranch and bandage that leg of his. I don't think Lucy Morrow cares one way or the other what happens to you. Mr. Randolph wants to bring charges later. That's up to him. As for myself, I'm saying goodbye to Coloma for the last time.
Oh,
Oh, you back, Mr. Paladin.
And ready to see the city bright and shining?
Oh, best you go away 2-3 more days, maybe.
Why should I?
Her.
Who?
Her. Her lady over there. He very unhappy when you no take her to the opera.
Well, didn't you explain it was business?
Oh, yes, sir.
Important business?
Yes, sir, but her business more important to her, I think, Mr. Paladin. He maybe kill you, huh?
I hope not. Well, the best way is the direct way. Excuse me.
Oh.
I hope you missed me. You did miss me. Oh. I have no other cheek to turn.
Then kindly turn yourself around and leave me alone.
I can hardly do that. You see, I've thought of nothing and no one but you all this time.
Really?
Really?
Am I to believe?
You are to believe only that which will make you feel better and me feel better, and both of us enjoy a lovely evening together. That, to me, would be a simple solution.
So?
Dinner?
Well...
Please?
You are a very convincing man.
The current issue of TV Radio Mirror has a feature story on the man who portrays Paladin every Sunday night on CBS Radio, Mr. John Dehner. Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald, and stars John Dehner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Albert Alley and adapted for radio by John Dawson. Featured in the cast were Vic Perrin, Eleanor Tannen, and Joseph Kearns. Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.
Frontier Gentlemen is a short-lived radio western series originally broadcast on the Columbia Broadcasting System, CBS, radio network from February 2nd to November 16th, 1958, initially heard Sunday afternoons at 2:30 p.m. The genre was described as grittier, more realistic, and clearly intended for an older audience.
There's a town in Montana Territory where it's against the law to carry a gun. The sheriff lives by this order, but other men can die because of it.
Frontier Gentlemen. Herewith, an Englishman's account of life and death in the West. As a reporter for the London Times, he writes his colorful and unusual accounts. But as a man with a gun, he lives and becomes a part of the violent years in the new territories. Now, starring John Dehner, this is the story of J.B. Kendall, Frontier Gentleman.
The journey had taken 98 days from St. Louis. I had come by riverboat up the Missouri, the little stern wheeler climbing, churning, scuttling over 2,000 miles of sandbar and rapid. Then into the lonely wastes of another, swifter stream, the Yellowstone, until we finally docked at South Sunday in Montana Territory. My ticket had cost $300, which left me about $50 in my pocket, and the slim hope But there would be a letter at the express office with my remittance from England.
Afternoon. Just in off the boat?
Right. I wonder if there's a letter for me, J.B. Kendall.
Kendall, any trouble on the way up? I hear the Sioux been kicking up their heels. Sitting bulls making big medicine again. Don't sound good.
We didn't see any.
Kendall, you English, ain't you?
Yes.
I figured by your talk. Don't see many of you in these parts. Nope. Nothing for you, mister.
You're sure? It's rather important. From England?
Nope. Nothing. Maybe tomorrow on the overland, though. Say, you planning to stay a while?
I think so.
Better get and register then.
Register?
Over to Sheriff Clanton's office. There's a notice on the wall, maybe missed your attention. All strangers to South Sunday will, within 1 hour of arrival, register at the office of the sheriff or be prosecuted. That's Clanton's orders. Surprised you missed the signs. They're all over.
Thank you.
Well, that's all right. Wouldn't want to see you in trouble. This ain't the healthiest town in the territory, not for strangers.
Oh, any particular reason?
What? Oh, excuse me. Afternoon, Mr. Farley. This here's Mr. Kendall, just off the boat. I was telling him about registering.
Now, that's a good idea.
Dake Farley is one of the sheriff's deputies. Helps keep South Sunday law-abiding. Big job.
What's your business, Mr. Kendall?
Oh, you might call me a jack of all trades.
I might?
I do a little writing for a London newspaper, you know. An Englishman's view of the Wild West, that sort of thing.
We don't take to strangers.
Oh, really? Shame. I've been looking forward to my visit.
Yeah, well, now you've seen it. You know what it's like, so supposing you get yourself back on that boat and try up the line to Rosebud at Junction City, huh?
I don't think so. Now, if you'll pardon me, I'll register at your office.
You carrying a gun?
No.
Put your hands up. Over your head. Higher. Now, you hold it just like that. Just so. All right. That's your baggage?
Yes.
Pick it up.
I beg your pardon?
I said pick it up.
Oh.
All right, come on.
Tell me, Mr. Farley, how did your town get its name?
How should I know?
Well, I thought you'd take an interest, just as a matter of pride, a civic pride.
Mister, I don't like the way you talk or what you say, so you shut your mouth. Here? Inside.
Where you been, Dake?
I've been checking on this fella, Frank. He just come in off the boat. He says he's a writer, a newspaper in London or something. He ain't carrying nothing. I searched him.
You're Sheriff Clanton?
Yeah.
J.B. Kendall. I understand I have to register.
Yeah. A writer, huh? You want to write about South Sunday?
I might.
How come?
As a matter of fact, the name intrigued me.
You kidding?
No, not at all. I write about the West, and you're in the heart of it. From what I understand, there might be trouble brewing with the Sioux and the Cheyenne. I'd like to be here if it blows up.
What's the name of your paper?
The London Times.
You ever hear of it, Dake?
No.
Mister, all kinds come to these here parts. Now, I ain't exactly calling you a liar.
It's quite all right. One can't be too careful. Here, my papers.
J.B. Kendall. British subject. Yeah. London Times. That's what it says. Here, you see, Dake?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Any other strangers get off the boat with him?
No, just him.
Well, you sound all right to me, Mr. Kendall. Now, just you remember, I got a set of rules here. You live by 'em while you're here. You'll get along.
That seems fair enough.
No man, except them authorized by me, carries a gun in South Sunday. That way we don't get a bunch of crazy, liquored-up miners and the like shooting up the place.
It seems the usual thing for a man to be armed in most places.
It ain't usual here. It's against the law.
Oh, I see.
You got yourself fixed up at the hotel?
No, not yet.
Well, then you go on over to the Empire, Mr. Kendall. You tell them Frank Clanton send you. They'll take care of you.
Very good of you.
Dake, take a look at his baggage.
Right.
Well, you're going to search my luggage?
That's right, mister. There are no guns in South Sunday, not worn or hidden.
That's a lie.
I haven't got one.
I sure am glad to hear it. I like a peaceable man. Yes, sir. A fella like you might think of settling down here in South Sunday. It's the quietest little town in Montana Territory. It's an opportunity for a man.
Well, I'll keep it in mind, Mr. Clanton.
There ain't nothing in his bags.
Well, now, Mr. Kendall, you enjoy your stay here. Anything you want, you just ask me. And I'd appreciate it, sir, if you put my name in your paper. Whatever you want to say is okay with me.
My hotel room was a palace in comparison to the cabin on the riverboat. After cleaning up, I went downstairs to the saloon bar in the hotel, ordered a drink before dinner. The place was practically empty, but I wasn't alone for long.
Hi. You're the English fella, aren't you? Kendall?
Yes, that's right.
I'm Lila. I work here. Frank Clanton said be nice to you. I'm being nice. You want to buy me a drink? It's on Frank.
Oh, delighted. Bartender...
Champagne, Harry.
Yeah.
Frank says it's not ladylike to drink whiskey. Hey, what'd you do to that man? I never seen him like this.
He thinks I'm going to write about him for my paper.
Are you?
More than likely.
You going to write about me, too?
If you want me to.
I'm Dake Farley's girl. Dake doesn't like you. He got mad when Frank said to be nice to you.
Does everybody in South Sunday do what Clanton tells them to do?
Sure.
Why?
Here's your drink.
Ah. Well, good luck. Look here, Lila. What about Clanton?
You seem like a nice fella. Don't ask questions.
Well, what about you, then?
Me? What do you care?
Where are you from?
I was born in Ohio. Got married and came out west. 5 years back, my husband got killed in a gunfight. I don't know. I kind of drifted around. Ended up here, one place as good as the next.
Is it?
Yeah, I guess. What about you? Your home's in England, huh?
It was.
You one of them lords or dukes or something?
No, not exactly.
Married?
No.
Must be interesting traveling around, seeing new things.
Oh, it has its advantages.
But I suppose you'll be glad to get back home.
Well, let's just say that one place is as good as the next.
Oh. You can't go back, huh? Trouble?
In a way. Look, your friend's just come in, Mr. Farley.
Listen, you be careful with him. Dake can get awful mean.
Well, doesn't he take orders from Clanton, too?
Don't talk smart like that to him. It riles him.
Mr. Farley. Good evening. Would you join us?
No. I just come to say don't you get no ideas about Lila.
Now, what ideas do you think I'd have?
I'm telling you.
You're telling me what?
Keep your hands off my girl, you understand?
My dear fellow, I haven't touched your girl. The thought never entered my mind.
We were just having that drink, Dake, like Clanton
Lila,
said.
you keep out of this.
Do you know that I find your manner toward this young lady rather offensive?
Well, you're just asking for trouble, aren't you?
Not at all.
Now, you think you can come in here with your fancy talk, your fancy ways, and make a fool out of me. Now, maybe Frank's a sucker, but not me. I don't like you. I don't trust you one bit.
Mr. Farley, it couldn't be of less consequence. What do you think of me?
He'll kill you just
shut
like he...
up.
That I don't stand for. Chum.
Oh, my nose.
Imagine it's broken. Now, if you don't mind, I'll relieve you of these. A chap of your disposition has no right running around with even one gun, let alone two.
Give me a hand up, will you?
You should have killed him.
What on earth for?
Listen, there's two more besides Dake and Clanton. They'll get you. You won't have a chance.
I think you better clear out before Mr. Farley stops bleeding. He's not going to be in a very nice mood.
Where are you going?
Down to Mr. Clanton's office. I've got to have a little talk to him.
In a moment, we'll return to Frontier Gentlemen. Who gets the last word? It all depends on who's playing CBS Radio's fascinating game Tuesday evening with Dr. Bergen Evans. A regular panel member is the witty and erudite John Mason Brown. Other guests vary from week to week. This Tuesday, they'll be Gary Moore and Lael Wertenbaker. These bright people take off from language questions sent in by listeners and cover all sorts of fascinating ground before one or another of them ultimately gives you the last word on the question. Get the last word this Tuesday when it comes to you over most of these same stations. And now we return you to Anthony Ellis's production of Frontier Gentlemen.
Mr. Kendall! Mr. Kendall, wait! Oh, you can't go down there. Dake went out the back. He'll have told Clanton by now. They'll be waiting.
Well, that's all right.
What's the matter with you? You want to die?
Of course not.
If you're gunning for them...
Gunning for who? I'm not gunning for anybody.
Then why are you going to see Frank?
Well, I told you I would talk to him.
Talk? Listen, you've got to get out of town.
My dear girl.
Don't you know who they are?
Should I?
You don't know what you've done. Shh. Quick, this way.
She took my hand and ran back up the street. We ducked down a narrow alleyway, up a rickety flight of stairs, which was the back entrance of the Empire Hotel, then along a musty corridor, past my room, and into hers.
I don't think they'll think of looking for you here.
Your friend, Mr. Farley, is going to be quite upset if they do.
His name's not Farley. Clanton isn't Clanton. They're the Shelton boys.
Shelton? The New Mexico Shelton boys?
There's 4 of them. Brothers.
What are they doing in South Sunday?
Hiding out from Billy the Kid. Dake killed one of Billy's men. Billy swore to get them all for it. That's why Frank won't let anybody carry a gun.
How do you know all this?
It was my husband Dake killed. Harry joined up with Billy for excitement, I guess. One time he was gone out of town 3 months. I was lonesome. I met Dake. When Harry came back, they had a fight over me. Dake outdrew him. We ran away together.
And you thought I'd come after them, that Billy had sent me?
They'll think it, too, now.
Lila, who made Frank sheriff here?
Nobody. There wasn't one when we came. He just took over. Funny thing is, I guess he's a pretty good sheriff. He's quit the old ways and likes it here.
Why have you told me all this?
I don't know. You talked with me like I was a lady. Indian treats his squaw better than Dake treats me. Maybe I wanted to see you finish him.
And it's not going to be very pleasant for you anymore.
Pleasant? Oh, mister, you got a funny way of saying things.
Lila, is there anywhere you could go? Friends?
In South Sunday?
No, what about home? I mean Ohio.
Home? Know what it'd cost to get there? I got no money.
But if you could.
If I could. I had nice folks. I don't even know if they're alive or dead. But I'd sure like to take a chance and find out.
Well, Lila, we'll see what we can do.
Where are you going now?
I had that talk with Frank. Do you know how to use a gun?
Yes.
Well, take this one. Lock yourself in after I've gone.
You keep it.
Huh?
I've got a Derringer.
Oh, all right. Here. In case I have any trouble, it's only $50.
I don't want your money.
Well, at least you'll be able to get out of town. Now, take it.
Watch yourself, will you? Dake's got a mean draw.
I'll watch myself. The Shelton brothers and probably 2 of their chums were out looking for me now, and I was pretty certain of that. I was looking for them, too, but the advantage was on their side. The town was strange to me. So I went to the one place where I was fairly sure I'd be safe from a surprise attack.
Sheriff ain't here. What are you...
Careful. Keep your hands where they are.
You're Kendall?
I'm Kendall.
Billy the Kid sent you. Now listen,
You may very slowly, carefully unbuckle your gun belt and let it drop to the floor. If you try to be foolish and brave, I shall be delighted to shoot you in the stomach.
Not me, Mr. Kendall. See, just like you say.
Which Shelton are you?
Monroe.
Very well, Monroe. I wish you to walk to that cell in the far corner, go in, and close the door behind you. You will then stand with your back to the door.
You wouldn't kill me.
Oh, yes, I would. Close it, please. Good. Turn around, please. Now, I'm going to gag you. In order to do so, I must put my guns away and use two hands. If by any chance your friends come in and you make an outcry while I'm doing this, I shall teach you a trick I learned in India. It feels something like this. Effective, don't you think?
Yeah.
Right. Now, head close to the bars, please. Oh, by the way, how many are there looking for me? 2?
3.
3. There. Now, we'll make ourselves comfortable and wait for your brothers. They're coming. Now remember what I told you, Monroe. Not a sound.
Hand up! We know you're in there.
Blast.
Hand up! You hear me?
Is there a back door?
Come out with your hands up, or we're coming in after you.
Let's get that gag off. I can see I'm going to need you.
What are you going to do?
I'll probably have to end up killing you. Nothing personal, you understand.
What do you say, Kendall?
Out you come.
Open the door and throw your guns out.
I've got a much better idea. You open the door and throw your guns in.
Monroe, are you in there?
Tell him.
Yeah, I'm in here, Frank.
Kendall, you come on out. You couldn't get...
This, but I'm afraid I don't believe you.
No. Hey, Frank, he's going to shoot. You do what he says.
All right. Kendall, we'll open the door. Throw in our gun. You give us your word you won't shoot?
Not unless you do. Any more?
No. We're coming in now.
Well, a pleasant family reunion. The brothers Shelton. Keep your hands where I can see them, won't you?
Now look. The kid made a mistake about what happened down south. Dake didn't mean to kill Lila's husband, did you, Dake?
I drew him, that's all.
Yeah, that's the way it was. Lila knows it was a fair fight. She'll tell you.
Speaking of Lila, I hope she's well.
Oh, she's fine. Now, we got no fight with the kid or you. Now, why don't we all go on down to the saloon and have a drink, huh? Talk it over. Me and my brothers have been living a nice, quiet life up here. We don't want to make no trouble. Get him, Dake!
My arm! Frank!
Completely dishonorable and most unwise.
Frank!
Any more hidden armaments?
You going to kill us?
It depends. Mr. Shelton, have you got $500?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Lila wants to go home. That's about what it'll cost. You have the money here.
Yeah, she's safe. Mm-hmm. Well, sure, she could take the boat out when it leaves in the morning. Ain't that so, Dave?
Sure she could.
Get it. Good. That settles the account. Now, all of you, get into the cell. Oh, incidentally, until this evening, I had no idea who you were. And I've certainly never met your friend, Billy the Kid. I thought you'd like to know.
Hey, what about Dake? He's got to have a doctor or he'll bleed to death.
He probably will. I'm going back to the hotel. If Lila's all right, I'll send a doctor. If she's not, we'll find an undertaker.
I want to thank you, Mr. Kendall.
It's nothing, Lila. Good luck.
You ever come Ohio way? You look me up. You hear?
I'll remember that. Oh.
You're a gentleman. I'll never forget you. Goodbye.
Morning, Mr. Kendall. Hear about the trouble last night?
Yes.
Sure must have been something. According to the sheriff, a whole gang rode in trying to shoot him up.
A gang?
Yep. 6 of them. Dake Farley got hit in the arm.
Really?
The sheriff ran him off, though.
Marvelous. I'll have to mention that in my article to the London Times. Now, I wonder, has that letter from England arrived yet?
No, I'm afraid not. Mail's already come in. Won't be any more till next week.
Well, when it does come, perhaps you'll be kind enough to forward it to me.
Sure. What address?
In care of the Express Office. Rosebud, Montana Territory.
Frontier Gentleman was written, produced, and directed by Anthony Ellis and stars John Daner as J.B. Kendall. Featured in the cast were Jack Crucian, Virginia Gregg, Stacey Harris, Harry Bartell, and Barney Phillips. Music was composed and conducted by Jerry Goldsmith. Join us again next week for another report from the Frontier Gentleman. Johnny Jacobs speaking. This is the CBS Radio Network.
The Cisco Kid came to radio October 2nd, 1942, with Jackson Beck in the title role and Louis Sorin as Pancho Vicky Vola, and Brinna Rayburn took supporting roles and Michael Rye being the announcer. The series continued on Mutual Broadcasting until 1945. It was then followed by another Mutual series in 1946, starring Jack Mather and Harry Lang, who continued to head the cast in the syndicated radio series of more than 600 episodes from 1947 to 1956.
And now, our exciting story of the Cisco Kid, the Baron of the Badlands. There's a part of the Southwest that exists today much the same as it was in the Old West of the 1870s. A dry, uninviting, trackless waste that has been known as the Badlands ever since men first pioneered the western wilderness, cleared their land, and built their ranches and towns. The little town of Thompson Spring had come into existence on the very edge of this wasteland. Its citizens curious about the man who had built his home in the rolling hills of the Badlands, but never daring to venture into this forbidden territory. All that is but old Sam Hopkins, whose blacksmith shop served a vital need in the community.
Oh, easy, Diablo. The blacksmith will have the new shoes finished in a moment.
Diablo not like to get the new horseshoes, Cisco.
See, Pancho. Diablo is like the little boy who does not like to sit still while he gets his hair cut.
Pancho not like to get his hair cut neither.
Well, there she be. She's all finished. Say, that's a fine horse you have there, friend.
See, amigo. Diablo is a fine horse. How much do we owe you for the job?
Huh?
I said, how much do we owe you?
Yes, it was a little dewy this morning, but we can't count on no rain for a spell yet.
No, senor. How much do I owe you?
Oh, don't need to shout, stranger. I can hear.
Cisco not shouting. Cisco just asked you how much.
Yep, I sure have. I got a right easy touch with the horseshoe, if I do say so myself. Well, that'll be $1.50.
Si, senor. Gracias. Un peso, 50 centavos.
Mm-hmm. Say, you two are strangers around these parts, ain't you?
Si, senor. We stopped in Thompson Spring only this morning to get a new shoe for my horse.
You are, huh? Oh, now that's too bad. I was pretty hoarse myself a few days back. I caught a bad cold out in the Badlands.
Madre mia, this senor blacksmith talk loco. He catch a cold and get a horse out in the Badlands.
No, Pancho. The senor means that the cold made him hoarse in the throat.
That's even worse to get a horse in the throat. Cisco.
Si, Pancho.
The senor got a very big throat, or Pancho think the horse be a very little horse? What do you think?
I think, Pancho, that you are trying hard to make a joke.
Si, Cisco, Pancho make a joke. He really not mean the senor.
I know, Pancho. Come, Diablo, we go now, come.
Say, you ain't riding out to the Badlands, are you, stranger?
Just shake your head, Cisco. The senor blacksmith not can hit you anyway.
But, Pancho, I think perhaps we will ride into the Badlands. I've always wanted to explore that country.
Huh? What'd you say, stranger?
I said we may ride into the Badlands.
Oh, I wouldn't do that if I was you. It ain't healthy, mister. Was out there myself a spell back. Strange goings-on out there. Fellow by the name of Tom Barton don't want nobody coming near his place.
Tell him we not go there, Cisco.
Senor Blacksmith, these Tom Barton you spoke about.
New spokes? Sure, easy as not. Got a wagon needing new spokes in the wheels. Sure, I can fix that, too.
Aye, Cisco, we just wasting time. Tell him we come back again someday. Maybe Thursday.
Thirsty? Well, I don't blame you, might. Right over there to the Busy Bee Cafe. You can get a nice cool
Gracias,
drink.
senor. Come, Pancho. We will go to the Busy Bee Cafe. It's time we had our dinner.
Very good idea, Pancho. Think Pancho not very thirsty, but Pancho can always eat.
Eat? Oh, say, son, this ain't nothing. Be a lot hotter in a month or so. Yeah.
Well, you finally got here. Been expecting you for some time. Your name's Travers. Gyp Travers, that right?
Yeah, Mr. Barton, that's my name, just like it says in the letter you got.
You know my setup here. They explained it to you back east?
Sure, yeah. I know all about it.
Very well. Let's not waste time. Hand over all the money you got. I understand it was a pretty big haul you made.
Not so big. $12,000.
No good, Gyp. I know that bank job netted you better than $20,000. I get it all, or there's no deal here.
I swear, Mr. Barton, it wasn't no $20,000.
Now, look, I guarantee you protection from the law in this place. You're a hunted murderer, Gyp. Out here, you're safe, but not without my protection. I get all the money you've got, or try it on your own and take your chances with the law.
No, I can't do that. I'll give you everything, but it's only $12,000.
Just wanted to make sure, that's all. All right, hand it over, Gyp. You'll be very comfortable here with the rest of the boys, and you can be sure that nobody will find you. I've got a tight little empire, Gyp. Nobody ever comes out this way. If they did, it wouldn't be very good for them.
Yeah, that's good, but what about me? I don't have to be stuck out in this hole, do I?
Hole? Gyp, I think I've made a very comfortable place here for my, shall we say, guests. You'll stay right here. I guarantee you protection from the law, but you gotta do exactly as I tell you.
Well, Pancho, that was a very good meal we had.
Si, Cisco, very good meal. You sit here so long, Pancho gets hungry again very soon.
Oh, we are just resting, amigo. We do not have any special need to hurry. It's nice here.
You mean the senorita where sitting at the other table is nice? Pancho, no. Oh, you're not full, Pancho. Cisco, Pancho sees you looking at her.
No, Pancho. I scarcely noticed the senorita, but now that you mention her, I agree that she is quite attractive.
Yes, quite attractive. And Cisco noticed her all right. And Pancho thinks the senorita also noticed Cisco. Look, amigo, she's getting up from the table.
Turn your head, Pancho. Do not stare at her. It is not polite.
Cisco, you look away. Pancho, watch just a little, maybe. Cisco, the senorita dropped a handkerchief as she passed this table.
Oh, I see. So she did. Well, Pancho, she would not want to lose her handkerchief. I will get it for her.
Pancho thinks the senorita dropped the handkerchief on purpose.
Pancho, you are too suspicious. I will be back in a moment.
Pancho better order some more food.
Your pardon, senorita. I believe you dropped your kerchief.
Oh, of course. How stupid of me. Well, thank you very much.
Not at all, senorita. You are a stranger in this part of the country?
Yeah, yes, I am. My name is Nell. Nell Taylor.
Buenos dias. I am the Cisco Kid.
How do you do? You know, you're the first person I met here.
Oh? Perhaps you would care to join Pancho and me at our table.
Well, I just finished eating, and I really should go back to the hotel, but, maybe for a minute or two.
Bueno. This will be a great pleasure for Pancho and me. Allow me, senorita, to present mi compañero, Pancho.
How do you do, Pancho?
Gracias, señorita.
Thank you.
Well, Pancho, I see you ordered another meal.
See, Cisco. Pancho thinks there's very good food here in the busy bee.
Sorry, but I can't agree with you. I've hardly been able to eat a thing since I arrived in Thompson Spring last night.
Oh, that is too bad, senorita. Is something troubling you?
Oh, nothing very serious, Cisco. It's just that this country's so strange to me. I guess maybe I'm homesick.
Homesickness can be very bad at times, senorita. You are from the East?
Yes, I came out for my health. The doctor said this climate would be good for me.
Pancho thinks the senorita look very healthy. If you're not, the sunshine fix her.
Si, Pancho. This sunshine can cure many ills.
Madre mia, what that, Cisco? Shooting across the street.
Si, I believe it comes from the blacksmith shop.
Look, Cisco, the senior blacksmith. He's coming in here.
I hope there's no trouble.
Yeah, rode right up and started shooting me, did the consign ornery outlaw.
Senor Blacksmith, are you hurt?
Huh?
I say, are you hurt? Did he shoot you?
Sure did. Put a slug in my tub and like to ruin my bellows. Flung this here note on the door and went riding off.
Well, senor, may I see the note?
You're right, stranger. What kind of a note is it when a peaceable citizen can't carry on his business without dodging slugs?
What did the note say? What did it say?
I have not seen it yet, Pancho.
Read it.
I guess I made a mistake in coming here.
Look at this here note here and what it says. Don't ever set foot in the Badlands again. Next time, it means death. And it's signed the Baron.
The Baron? Oh, no.
Senorita, you know of this Baron?
Huh? No, I never heard of him. I think I'll go back to the hotel if you'll excuse me.
Oh,
please.
of course, senorita. Would you like us to go with you?
No, thank you. I'll be all right.
Adios, senorita. We will meet again.
The senorita go away very fast, Cisco. Do you think she know this Baron?
I believe she does, Pancho. Senor Blacksmith.
Huh? You say something?
See, I would be careful if I were you. I would take the warning and not go back to the Badlands.
You bet your life I am. As soon as I can get my guns and saddle up, I'm riding right out there and see what this is about.
Pancho, I think we better keep our eyes on the blacksmith. Santo, Pancho, do you realize you ate 2 complete meals?
Si, Cisco. And Pancho think he eat too much, even for Pancho.
Now, Pancho, you have the hiccups.
And Pancho got the... What cups?
You have eaten too much, Pancho. You should be more careful.
Madre mia. This never happened to Pancho before.
Here, amigo. Now hold your breath and drink this glass of water.
See, Pancho, hold your breath and drink like Cisco said.
See, now go. Now, there's the way, Pancho. There, now. You feel better, eh?
See, gracias, Cisco. Pancho feel better now. Everything all right?
Bueno. Well, come, Pancho. We'll ride up to the senior blacksmith to see he does not get into trouble.
Pancho feel fine now, Cisco. And Pancho all ready to go.
Pancho, the blacksmith, is just riding out of town.
You ride fast to the south, Cisco.
Who's there?
It's me, Nell. Jip.
What are you doing here at the hotel, Jip? I thought you were supposed to stay out on the place.
Well, sure I am, Nell, but can't a man come into town to see his own wife?
Did anybody see you coming in here?
Well, the clerk at the desk downstairs saw me, gave me your room number, and he told me to come on up. Look, Nell, I think we got trouble. Barton, Barron, he calls himself, didn't quite believe that story about getting only $12,000 from that bank holder.
I told you we should have planted the rest of that money back east somewhere instead of me bringing it out here with me.
Well, maybe we should, but you're here now and you got the money. I'm just afraid that Barton is too clever.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean he's liable to find out that you're a stranger in town and figure it's more than a coincidence that both you and me arrived at the same time.
Well, that's all the more reason why you shouldn't have come here. So, how'd you get away?
As soon as it got dark, I went for a walk and slipped through the barbed wire fence and just kept walking.
Honestly, Jip, I don't know why I've stuck with you all these years. You're so dumb and stupid. You're not even half smart.
Yeah? Well, I'm smart enough to know that you better get rid of that money you're carrying. If Barton finds you here, he'll get it. When he does, I don't know what'll happen to me.
You mean because you lied to him about how much you had, huh?
That's right. You better get out of this town as fast as you can.
Oh, no, Jip. No, I don't think I will. I got a better idea. Tell me, how long do you figure you'll have to hide out with the Baron?
Till the law cools down and gets off my trail. Shouldn't be more than a few months.
Ah, don't make me laugh. You're wanted for murder, Jip. Don't forget that. And the law don't cool down easy on that charge.
Well, at least I've thrown him off, and I got protection as long as I stay here. In a couple of months, you and me can get away and slip over the border. What's this idea you got about the money you're carrying?
Well, if you think there's any danger of the Baron getting it away from me, I think I know someone who'll give me protection.
Here in this hick town?
Mm-hmm.
Who's that?
Well, I met a couple of men when I was having my lunch up the street. One of them's a tall, good-looking fellow who calls himself the Cisco Kid. I think if I play my cards right, I can get all the protection I need. For the money and for me, too.
The woman who calls herself Nell Taylor, but who is really the wife of Gyp Travers, may find that it's not as easy to fool Cisco as she seems to think. In just a moment, we'll return to our story of the Cisco Kid. And now, back to the Cisco Kid and the Baron of the Badlands. When Cisco and Pancho left the little town of Thompson Spring to follow the old blacksmith Sam Hopkins into the Badlands, Cisco little realized that he might become the central character in a plot evolved by Nell and her husband, Gyp Travers. As we return to our story, Cisco and Pancho have overtaken the blacksmith and persuaded him to wait until nightfall before attempting to investigate the mystery surrounding the Baron of the Badlands.
I think now we might try to approach the house, senor.
Huh? I can't hear a word you say, Cisco. Speak up, man.
Do not make so much noise.
Ow! Oh, why are you pinching my arm like that?
Cisco pinch your arm because you not can hear him talk.
Pancho, you too must be quiet.
Yes, Cisco, Pancho, be quiet.
You think it's all... You think it's all right to move up close to the house now?
Sancho, nothing will be all right if we continue to make so much noise. Come quietly now.
Pancho, be very quiet, Cisco. And Pancho also keep the senor blacksmith quiet.
Here, Pancho. Let me punch you in the back.
Yes.
Maybe that will stop your hiccups.
Yes, Cisco. Pancho, in the back. Pancho, try anything to stop.
There. Your hiccups have stopped, Pancho.
Yes, Cisco, they stop. Pancho, all better again. We go now, Cisco? What do you expect to find there?
I don't know. We cannot allow Senor Sam the blacksmith to go alone.
We go alone to protect him, huh? Oh, Madre mia.
Well, let's get going. You two coming with me or not, huh?
I wouldn't be going anywhere if I was you, unless it's right off this land as fast as you can get.
Santo, you scared, Pancho.
All right, all three of you, get going. I'll help you along with this gun.
I would not use that gun if I were you, senor.
Say, that's him, that's Barton. Now, look here, you. Why did you send that foreman of yours to shoot up my blacksmith shop, huh?
I figured you might want to come snooping around here some more. I gave you 2 warnings. This time it ain't a warning. It's this.
You are quick, but not quite quick enough, hombre. I do not think you'll be using that hand for some time.
That fast work, Cisco.
Try to shoot me, will you? Well, I'll show you some real...
Stop, senor. Stop it, don't you?
Oh. Well, there ain't no need for you to shove me like that.
I will have no more shooting.
No, not right now you won't. But there'll be another time. And then it'll be a different story.
Come, senor. We'll ride back to town.
Huh? Ride back to town, you say? Why, I didn't even get started on that critter.
I think you'll be wise to start nothing further, senor. Pancho and I will see that you get off this land safely. After all, we are trespassers, you know. Diablo!
Loco!
Pancho, look ahead there on the trail. A man walking.
Yes, Cisco, he's far from the town. Why he walked this way, you think?
Well, we will stop and question him. Oh, Diablo.
Oh, no, we stop and question, Logan.
What are we stopping for? Whoa, Queenie boy. Whoa, honey.
Buenas tardes, senor. We're far from town. Are you lost?
No, No, I ain't lost. Who are you? What do you want?
Oh, you're just riding back to Thompson Springs, senor. You've lost your horse?
No, I didn't have no horse. Anyhow, what's it to you?
Nothing, senor, unless we could be of help. You're walking into the Badlands, senor.
Yeah, I know. Now ride on and leave me alone.
Everybody want to be left alone tonight.
What's he saying?
You are apparently a stranger here. I would not advise you to go into the Badlands, senor.
Oh, I got a good place to go there.
I'd warn you not to go near the land of the one who calls himself the Baron. He does not welcome strangers.
He not welcome anybody. Pancho, think.
Don't bother to give me no advice. I know what I'm doing and where I'm going.
Very well, stranger. We'll be on our way. Adios.
Sí, adios, stranger, but watch out for the Baron.
Sure, Fatty.
Fatty.
Look out you don't fall off that horse before you get to town.
Can't you not fall off, loco?
That hombre does not wish either advice nor help. Come, Pancho. Up, Diablo. Come.
Up, loco, go.
Hey, wait up for me, boys. Hey, giddy up, Queenie, giddy up, come on. Boys!
When we go away from here, Cisco, no excitement, no nothing.
Oh, I think we will ride on after we have eaten, amigo. Now, be careful. Remember those hiccups you had yesterday. Do not overeat again.
Pancho not like to have hiccups again, and Pancho be very careful. Do you think the blacksmith, the Senor Sam, be all right, Cisco?
Oh, certainly. I thought for a moment last night there might be some trouble, but I believe we have convinced him to stay away from the Badlands.
Oh.
What goes on there is none of his business.
Why we try to make it our business, Cisco?
Oh, I was very foolish, Pancho. I thought we would be of some help to Senor Sam in case he got into trouble. I will never do that again.
Cisco, the senorita, the one from yesterday, coming in.
Oh, see, so she is. Buenos dias, senorita. Will you join us?
Oh, Cisco and Pancho, so glad I found you here.
What is the matter, senorita? You seem to be in some kind of trouble.
If the senorita got troubles, we help you.
Well, it's not that I'm really in trouble, Cisco. It's just that I need someone that I can rely on. Because I'm afraid there might be some trouble.
Oh, that would be most unfortunate, senorita. How can we help?
Well, I did a very foolish thing, Cisco. You see, when I came out here, my father insisted that I bring a large amount of money with me, and, well, I'm afraid it might be stolen.
Oh, why do you not put it in the bank?
See, money's always safe in the bank, unless the banditos blow up the bank. Boom!
Well, I don't want to put the money in the bank, Cisco. Would you keep it for me?
Senorita, this is a strange request. You do not know me nor Pancho, and we were about to ride on from Thompson Springs.
But I know that you're honest, Cisco. You see, I can trust you.
Gracias, senorita, but we cannot stay here in this town.
Oh, why not, Cisco? I'm very lonely, and I think of you as the only true friend I have.
Santa, this is very bad. Cisco.
See, Pancho.
You better not stay here. Remember last night the troubles we got with the Baron?
Oh, that was not trouble, Pancho. Just a little misunderstanding. Senorita, this person who is called the Baron, yesterday when old Sam the blacksmith came in here, I thought perhaps you recognized the name of the Baron.
Well, yeah, I did recognize the name, but of course I'd only heard of the Baron as a very bad person.
Well, you are from the East, and still you recognize the name? I did not know that he was known there.
Oh, well, I hadn't heard of him in the East. It was on the train coming out. Someone told me about him and warned me.
That is very strange.
Strange? Why?
That someone should take the trouble to warn you. Who was this person?
I don't remember his name. He just told me that if I was coming to this part of the country to be careful, particularly because I was, well, carrying this large sum of money.
I see. Would you recognize this person who warned you if you were to see him again?
Oh, no. I didn't pay much attention to him. I don't think I'd know him if I were to see him again.
Cisco, someone coming in with his hand all bandaged.
Oh, I see, amigo. He's the hombre we had words with last night. The Baron.
Well, I've been sort of looking around for you. Got a little score to settle.
Everybody come looking for Cisco.
I will not try to avoid you, but I do not think this is the place to settle anything.
I think it's a very good place.
I do not care to fight in the presence of the senorita. And besides, I do not think your hand is in condition to fight.
Oh, don't worry about my hand or the young lady either. I can draw fast with a gun just the same.
Gentlemen, please, don't fight.
Well, miss, you seem to be a stranger here. Seems to me there's a lot of strangers in Thompson Spring the last few days. Mighty unusual.
I do not think it is any of your business, hombre. How many strangers come to this town?
Yes, it is my business, especially when those strangers start interfering with my business. Where are you from, miss?
I think, hombre, you better be on your way.
You know, sensible people usually take my warnings. There have been a lot of dumb people around here lately, like a fellow named Travers who tried to outsmart me by lying.
Travers, what did you do to him?
Well, now, you seem to be quite interested. You a friend of his?
No,
I have told you, hombre. You are not wanted here. Get out, pronto.
Cisco, look. Coming in the door. That senor. And he beat bad.
See, he can hardly walk.
Jip!
Step back. All of you. Oh, Tom Barton. The Baron.
Travers, how did you get here?
Your guards gave me a beating, Tom, but I managed to get away. I'll take my chances with the law rather than with you.
You lied to me, Travers. I think this gal here has the rest of the money.
Careful of that gun, hombre.
Stay out of this. This is between me and Travers.
Yeah. Between you and me, Tom.
Look out, Cisco!
There'll be no murders here, hombre. Give me that gun.
Cisco, the senorita. She aimed the gun at the back.
Oh! Grab the senorita, Pancho.
Nobody's grabbing me. Stay where you are. Come on, Jip, I got him covered. Back toward the door.
You are doing a very foolish thing. There is still something known as the law.
The law? That's very funny. We'll take those horses of yours and be over the border before any law can reach.
Hey, what's going on here?
Bueno, get them, Sam.
Oh, no, you don't.
Sergeant, the blacksmith grabbed the senorita.
I will get that hombre.
You go shooting, it won't do you a bit of good.
Let go of me.
Oh, no, hombre. Not until you've been turned over to the sheriff.
The law will never do anything to us, Cisco. Jip and me have been together for a long time. We'll die together before we let the law get us.
That is something that the law will decide. Pancho, here, rope. We will tie both of them up so they can do no harm until they are safely in the hands of the sheriff.
Si, Cisco, Pancho, do this.
Look, Cisco, now, why can't you be fair about this thing?
Sure. Now, look here. That Baron, you know the country's much better off without him. Why don't you let us go? We'll never cause any more harm.
Your appeal is very touching, hombre. But when one commits a crime, the law exacts a penalty.
A lot of talk going on around here. Anything important?
Probably important to these two, but I'm afraid it will do them no good. But, Senor Blacksmith, I want to thank you for saving my life.
Huh? What'd you say?
I say I want to thank you for saving my life.
His wife, is she? Well, now, first time the jail in Thompson Springs will ever have a woman in it.
Here's the rope, Cisco. Oh, madre mia, the rope.
What's he saying?
Well, Jip, I guess it's murder for both of us.
Yeah. Me back east and you just now for shooting Barton.
Same, Senor Travers and Senora. No matter how you try to evade it, the law has a way of bringing criminals to justice.
Cisco.
Si, Pancho.
That senorita almost fooled Pancho. And Pancho thinks she almost fooled Cisco, too.
Well, Pancho, perhaps she did it first. Yeah, it is always well, amigo, to believe the best of people until you find out otherwise.
Pancho got to think about this. This otherwise, what it mean, huh?
Otherwise?
Uh-huh.
Well, it means, here, I will give you an example.
Bueno, example. Tell Pancho.
Well, as an example, Pancho, you should not eat so much, otherwise you will get the hiccups again.
Oh, so that's what otherwise means. And Pancho eat too much otherwise. That's very funny.
Funny, Pancho? What is so funny about that?
You sure fooled Pancho.
I fool you? How?
Cisco say Pancho get the hiccups from eating too much otherwise. And all the time Pancho think he get the hiccups from eating too much food.
Oh, Pancho.
Oh, Cisco.
And so ends another exciting adventure with O. Henry's famous Robin Hood of the West, the Cisco Kid.
Gunsmoke is an American Western radio series, which was developed for radio by John Meston and Norman MacDonnell. The series ran for 9 seasons and was broadcast by CBS. The first episode of the series originally aired in the United States on April 26, 1952, and the final first-run episode aired on June 11, 1961. Gunsmoke is set in and around Dodge City, Kansas, in the post-Civil War era and centers around United States Marshal Matt Dillon, William Conrad, as he enforces law and order in the city. The series also focuses on Dillon's friendship with 3 other citizens of Dodge City, Dr. Charles Doc Adams, Howard McNear, the town's physician, Kitty Russell, Georgia Ellis, owner of the Long Branch Saloon, and Chester Wesley Proudfoot, Parley Bear, Dillon's deputy.
Around Dodge City, in the territory on West, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers, and that's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of gun smoke.
Gunsmoke, the story of the violence that moved west with young America. The story of a man who moved with it. Matt Dillon, United States Marshal.
Wanted for murder.
Wanted for murder.
Clay Richards.
Clay Richards.
Age 31.
31.
Height 6 feet. Eyes brown. Hair red.
Eyes brown, hair red. Hey, how'd you like me to print his picture on these notices? I got a woodcut. Well, let me show you. Ernie!
Yeah?
Fetch your marshal a copy of that front page. Interviewing Clay's wife yesterday, I noticed a tintype on the mantel, their wedding photograph. So, first thing you know, I snitched it.
It's very thoughtful.
Yeah, I'll take it, Ernie.
Here.
And then I propped it up in front of me and carved me this woodcut. Ain't she prime? Ain't she just elegant?
Real elegant.
Good likeness, don't you think? Of course, he was 7 or 8 years younger with the tintype.
Yeah, it's a good
Cuts
likeness.
his hair short. And
Doesn't show what makes a law-abiding man like him try to rob a bank. Doesn't look like a man who murdered an old cashier and a Chinese cook who just happened to be
Sure sweated
there.
over it, though.
But it's a good likeness.
Yes, sir, it is. A picture like this sure dresses up the front page, don't it?
Yeah, it's a little masterpiece, Mr. Hightower, a notable contribution to the culture of Dodge City.
Well, thank you, Marshal. Does fetch the eye, don't it? I'm printing an extra 500 copies of the weekly, and I bet I sell them all. Too bad the cashier's shot went wild. If he'd managed to kill Clay or even wing him, why, I bet I could sell 1,000 extra copies.
We must be thankful for the blessings we do receive, Mr. Hightower.
Oh, I am, Marshal, I am. Why, just before it happened yesterday afternoon, I didn't know what I was going to fill my columns with, and then, like manna from heaven, 2 murders and a bank robbery.
Attempted bank robbery, Mr. Hightower. He turned and ran before he got his hands on so much as $1.
Yes.
Still, as you say, like manna.
Dillon,
I'm talking business. What is it, Chester?
Well, it can wait, I guess, Mr. Dillon.
Yeah, print Clay's picture on those notices, Mr. Hightower. Oh, where were we?
Eyes brown, hair red.
Oh, yes. Also known as Red, Bricktop, and Sorrel. He didn't answer to no other nicknames, did he?
No, that's what they called him.
All right, then in big letters, $400 reward. Dead or alive. And at the bottom, apply Matt Dillon, Marshal, Dodge City. Print 200 copies. How soon can I send Chester over for him?
This afternoon.
Good morning, Mr. Hightower. Chester.
Think those posters will do any good? Richards is probably over the line into Oklahoma or Colorado by now. That strawberry roan of his is the fastest in the county.
He has no money. He panicked and ran out of the bank before he got a penny. I think he'll try to get help from his wife or brother or a friend the first chance he has, maybe tonight. I say he's around here somewhere. I'm sorry I turned on you like that, Chester.
Why, that's all right, Mr. Dillon. Out all night with a posse, no sleep, man's bound to get touchy.
No, it's not that. It's the way... It's the way people use a thing like this. The men riding posse last night, they enjoyed it as though they were hunting fox or possum. Hightower back there, he acts like it was a birthday treat, specially gotten up for him. Everybody finds a way to use it. What was it you wanted to tell me?
Oh, I got a kid, a little boy, locked up in the cell. He run away from home back in Cottonwood. Ed Slade turned him over to me when he come through on the stagecoach just now. Kid about 12 years old.
Whose is he?
Widow woman. Miss Bonnie. She runs a boarding house in Cottonwood. Ed says kid's always running away a little while, I guess. He flagged Ed for a ride on the road halfway between there and here. Soon as Ed seen him stand there with his bundle on his shoulder, he knowed what he was up to. So he told the kid he'd help him and then turn him over to us when he got here.
All right, we'll send a telegram to the mother to come fetch him. Well, come on in, Chester, and shut the door.
Mr. Dillon?
You're letting in every horse fly in Kansas.
Mr. Dillon, I think you better cancel the order for them notices.
What?
The Dutchman's coming up the street, and he's leading a strawberry roan, and Clay Richards is draped across his back.
Like a sack of wheat across the saddle. Last time I saw him, 2 days ago, he was standing at the bar laughing his head off. A sack of wheat across the saddle. And followed by half the saloon bums and loafers in town. All right, Chester, make him keep back.
All right, now stand back, you fellas. Come on now, back. Stand back.
Ziegler? How'd it happen, Ziegler?
My goat, my old billy goat, he pushes open the fence last night and runs away.
Forget your goat. What about Clay?
Yeah, I tell you. This morning I go to look for the goat. I walk here, there. Near the river, I see Clay. He sits there. I say, hello, Clay. Wie geht's?
You dirty Dutchman. You no good dog. Clay was your best friend. He helped you buy your farm, so you killed him for your
All right, all of you. Keep back, everybody.
Clay? Me? No, my brother, he was like... We was in the war together. Peter, listen.
You killed him for the war.
Not so. I killed nobody. Not since Gettysburg. Clay is dead already when I find him. I don't even own a pistol.
Ziegler, inside, quick.
Yeah.
Chester, give me a hand with Clay.
All right, all of you. Listening. Shut up!
I will not tolerate a disturbance. You know me. I got him, Chester. Take his leg. All right, kick the door shut.
Marshal, I don't kill Clay.
On this table, Chester. What'd you do with Clay's gun? His holster's empty.
Gun? Clay's? I ain't got it. I don't even own one.
Chester, see if it slipped out.
His holster was empty coming up the street. First thing I noticed. Maybe it's over on the...
Another customer? Why, that's 3 in less than a day. Oh, bountiful harvest. My fees this month will keep me in luxury. In luxury.
Doc, I want to have an inquest as soon as possible.
Well, as soon as I finish the autopsy, shouldn't take long with the practice I've had this week, huh? No. Late afternoon all right with you? I'll take him up to my office right now. No, thank you, Chester. I can carry him all by myself here. You just open the door there like a good fella and... Yeah, Marshal, tell the city fathers I'd like to make a deal when the corpses are as famous as this one. Back in 53 in San Francisco, a fellow I knew earned a fortune exhibiting the head of Joaquin Murrieta. Tell them if they'll let me keep the remains, I'll do the autopsies for nothing.
Shut the door, Chester. Ziegler, where is it you met Clay on the river?
By the fort. This side by the fort.
Ride out there, Chester, and see if you can find Clay's gun. Maybe he dropped it when he was shot.
I did not shoot Clay.
Sure.
I did not. I had no reason to. I did not.
Now, you listen to me. Maybe you think Dodge has got so big I don't know about everything that goes on here. Well, if you do, you're wrong. If you think I don't know about the bank having an overdue mortgage on your farm, you're wrong. $400 is reason enough for a struggling farmer like you.
No. Could not do such a thing. I am a human being.
To a peace officer, Ziegler, that's enough grounds for suspicion. But whether you did it or not will be decided at your trial. In the meantime, you just stop yammering about it.
Trial? Me?
Even when I shoot somebody, I stand trial. If they find it's justifiable homicide, and they probably will, Clay being a wanted man, then they'll let you off. And if not...
Please, I am permitted to go now.
Go. Are you crazy?
My farm, the stock, I must look after it.
You sit right down. You want to be lynched? You're trying to get yourself murdered? Have you forgotten about Clay's brother, Adam?
Adam would not believe I shot him.
What difference does it make whether he believes it or not? His brother's been killed. Everybody's looking to him to do something about it, and he knows it. You want me to guess where he is right this minute? He's in one of them saloons, lapping up courage to come in here and ask me to give you to him for a present. You want to know who's with him? Every loafer, every bum, every slob in town. Slapping him on the back and telling him what a shame it is. Taking him on to kill you so that they can have some excitement and some fun. Well, maybe you deserve killing, but it's my job to uphold the law, and I'm not letting you out of here.
What?
You might spend your time trying to think up a better story. That is, if you intend to stay in this town. All right, now think back. Didn't Clay go for his gun before you shot him?
I tell you, I didn't. If I'm not under arrest, you have no right to keep me here. I got to look after my farm. I go.
All right, Chester, lock him up.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dillon. Come on now, Ziegler. Step out, Sonny. This cage is bespoke.
Who's in there, Chester?
That little old runaway from Cottonwood.
Oh. Yeah. Come over here, son. Come over here to me.
I know who you are.
You do you?
You bet. You're Matt Dillon.
I'm guilty.
I knowed you right off. You just pointed out to me one day back home. Filler says you was the fastest gun thrower in Kansas.
Wyatt Earp wouldn't be awful interested to hear that, I'm afraid.
Filler says you was faster than Older. Faster than Wild Bill Hickok in Hayes City and Fat Masterson or any of them. How many fellas have you killed?
You don't keep score, son. It's something you try to forget.
Not me. Someday I'll be famous like you, and for every filler I kill, I'll put a notch on my gun. People will see those notches, and they'll know they better not try.
Why'd you run away from home, bub? Don't you know your mother's likely to worry about you?
Oh, she won't worry. She's too busy working. You ain't gonna make me go back, are you? You wouldn't do that, would you?
Well...
Because it wouldn't stop me for long. I'd only run away again.
Oh, where are you off to in such a sweat?
Oh, Texas, California, Mexico. A fellow can accomplish things there, not like living in old Cottonwood. If you let me go, someday when I'm famous, you can tell people you helped get me started.
Well, that's a pretty strong inducement. I'll have to think about it for a while. And, look, while I'm making up my mind, I want you to give me your word. Word of a man who'll be famous someday that he won't try to run away from me. Otherwise, I'll have to have Chester lock you up again.
Oh, I'll shake on that.
Good. Chester, I want you to go look for Clay's gun.
Yes, Mr. Dillon.
And on the way, stop off and send that telegram. You know?
Hmm? Oh, that telegram. Yes, Mr. Dillon.
Where's Ziegler?
Right. It's all right, Chester. Go ahead.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dillon.
Where's that murdering dog? Oh, there you are. You
Not a single step further, Adam.
I want him, Dillon. He murdered Clay, shot him down without giving him a chance.
How do you know?
Because Clay wouldn't have let anyone catch him off guard except a friend. A friend. And now, Dillon, give me that Dutchman.
Try to take him.
Just like that?
It's like that.
And it's true what the fellas say. You made a deal with the Dutchman to give him the reward and to protect him if he'd kill Clay for you.
That was the deal, was it?
Yeah.
The fellas say why I'd make such a deal?
Dillon, it ain't no longer a secret around town that you and Francie want each other. But Clay was in the way. You had him killed so you could get his wife. Do you deny it?
No. It'll serve as well as any other crazy story to work you up.
You think you're safe behind that star, don't you? Well, Clay had friends, lots of them. I'm coming back with them friends, and we'll get the Dutchman and you and anyone else who tries to stop us.
All right, Adam. I'll be waiting.
Yeah. You wait.
I almost seen something pretty just then, didn't I, Mr. Dillon?
Yeah, almost. About another pint of whiskey ought to do it.
return for the second act of Gunsmoke in just a moment. But first, many radio shows win high popularity with the prizes and cash they give away. But there's one show that's tops because the head man gives away as little as possible. What other radio program could it be but the Jack Benny Show? So be listening. Here's the second act of Gunsmoke.
Son?
You say something, Mr. Dillon?
Yeah, open that drawer in front of you there. You'll find a small bottle of oil in there. No, the one to the right there. Yeah, that's it. Now, bring a little brush, too, huh?
Here it is.
Thanks, bub.
It's a right nice gun you have.
Yeah, it's not bad, but a little stiff. Just a little stiff.
Don't it have a trigger? I never seen no gun without a trigger before.
Oh, you remove a trigger or tie it back against a guard. And all you have to do is thumb a hammer. Yeah, like that. It's faster. Yeah, that's better now.
Remove the trigger. I remember that.
What in the world for?
Well, I remember everything you told me. About the Texas holster and the spring holster and the double roll and filing off the sight.
It's just me, Mr. Dillon.
Oh, any luck, Chester?
No, sir, not any. I went to the store first and asked Mr. Denton what kind of ammunition Clay Richards used to buy, and he told me Clay had a double-action 44. I scoured that riverbank a half-mile each way from the ford, and not a sign of it. I got that telegram off. You know who ought to be here pretty soon. It's only 7-8 miles from...
Is that fire in town?
Funeral services for Mr. Grinnell, the cashier.
So soon?
It's awful hot weather.
Yeah. Any of your guns need oiling, Chester?
I don't think so.
You sure? When Adam left, he said he'd be coming back with some friends.
I know. I stopped at the Oliver Gantry just now to rinse out my mouth. Adam was there talking mighty ugly and mighty big. He's got a sizable following.
When do you think?
Any minute now, Mr. Dillon. Want me to take Bob out of here to one of the hotels, maybe?
I want to see
No,
it.
I think you'll be safer here, Chester, behind stone walls and dodging about the streets rubbernecking.
You keep your head down, Sonny. You hear? There's a...
Matt, I gotta talk to you.
She ought to be in mourning. If she cared for Clay at all anymore, she ought to be in black.
Matt,
Oh, Lord, I find her more beautiful all the time.
Matt, have you heard what they're saying?
What are they saying, Francie?
That you and me, that you made Pete Ziegler kill him because of...
I'm sorry that got back to you, Francie.
It's all over Dodge. Adam almost strangled me before they dragged him off.
Francie, I didn't shoot Clay. Francie, I beg you believe me. I was the...
Shut up, Ziegler.
Woman,
Shut up or I'll club you to death! Francie is just one of those crazy stories. They needed one and they made one up.
But, Matt, everyone believes it. On my way down here, people were pointing, whispering. Old women clucking their tongues at me. They believe it.
They'll forget it as soon as this is over. They'll remember that even if we once did go with each other, it was finished and done with even before the war ended, before you even met Clay.
No, they won't forget it. For the rest of my life, as long as I stay here...
Hold it a minute, Francie. Yeah, Doc, what is it?
Oh, am I interrupted?
What is it, Doc?
Our Topsy's finished. I examined his liver and lights his...
This is Mrs. Richards, Doc.
Oh, I beg your pardon, ma'am. I'm sure I meant no disrespect for the departed.
Well,
Clay was shot all right, but from the nature of the wound and the coagulation of the blood, I'd say it happened sometime yesterday. I'd say the cashier's bullet didn't go wild after all.
How could a dead man gallop away?
Well, the wound wasn't what killed Clay. The ball hit the rib case and it bounced off. 22 caliber it was. What did kill him was the stab in the back, right through the spine, inflicted sometime this morning. Now, near as I can judge, by a small blade, 2 or 3 inches long. It could have been a Barlow knife.
Thanks, Doc.
Please accept my condolences, Mrs. Richard. You call the inquest anytime you're ready, Marshal.
Chester, close the door.
You see, I didn't do it. I didn't shoot him.
All right, then you stabbed him, maybe. You said you never carried a gun. Look, Francie, go home and give matters a chance to simmer
Matt,
down.
I'm going to ask you for something.
Yeah?
Turn Pete Ziegler out into the street.
What? Francie, they're itching to get their hands on him.
Let him have him. It'll prove that story's a lie.
that you didn't make a deal with him. Please, Matt, I have to live here. Sammy, I have to live here. Matt? Matt. Don't look at me like that.
Go home, Francie. Go home or leave town or hang yourself or anything you like. Just go away. Away! Right now.
I bought me a bottle at the Alafragans, Mr. Dillon. Would you care for a drink?
No.
Guess the funeral's over.
There'll be others.
Funny. No, I missed that bell. Awful quiet, ain't it? It's just what?
Just about on schedule. Are you ready, Chester?
Yes, sir, Mr. Dillon.
I'd use a shotgun if I were you. It's more effective when there's a mob to be dealt with.
Oh, yes, sir, I aim to.
Ziegler, and you too, son. If trouble starts, lie down flat on the floor and keep your head down all the time. Don't gawk to see what's happening. You understand me?
Yes, sir, Mr. Dillon.
All right.
Dillon! Dillon! Come on, Dillon! Come on!
Chester, I want you to stand here in the doorway after I go out, where you can cover the back door and me at the same time.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dillon.
All right, Chester. Open the door.
Come on now.
It's my duty to warn all of you that you're in the breach of the peace. I've sworn to uphold the law. I've killed men in order to do it, and I'm prepared to do so again.
Give us a Dutchman, Dillon.
Men! I ask you to be sensible and to leave quietly. But if you refuse to listen to reason, if you insist upon being fools, if you've already decided to act like wolves instead of humans, then there's nothing I can say to make you change your minds.
A Dutchman.
All right, you want Peter Ziegler? Well, he's not more than 20 feet behind me, so come on and get him, any of you. One at a time or all at once. Come on. Which one of you wants to die first? You? You? You, Adam? Well, what do you say, Adam? You let him here. Don't let this star on my coat stop you. Come on. There, I'm not wearing it now. Well, come on, draw, Adam, draw.
You all right, Mr. Dillon?
Yeah. Get his gun.
Man alive, I couldn't even see your hand move.
Marshal! Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Doc, you make one single funny remark and I'll knock you down. You just take him to your office and get to work.
Well, I never do mean to offend, Marshal. In my line of work, well, bodies, they're just so much lumber.
Make all the jokes about him you please, but not to me and not in my hearing. In my line of work, there's nothing humorous about death. Give him a hand, Chester.
No, I can handle it, Marshal. Thank you. Thank you. Just the same.
Can you direct me to the marshal's office?
Yes, ma'am, right here. I'm Marshal Dillon.
Well, I left Cottonwood as soon as I got your telegram. I'm Miss Bonnie. Where's my boy?
Oh, we have him, ma'am, safe and sound. Here, let me help you down. Hitch that horse, Chester. Right this way, ma'am.
Oh, I'm so sorry he put you to all that trouble, Marshal. The truth of the matter is he's a wild one, and no mistake. Takes after his father, one scrape after another.
He was no trouble at all. I enjoy children. I like to have them around. Bob? Bob, your ma's here. Son? Chester, where's the boy? Did you let him slip past you?
No, sir, Mr. Dillon. He never got past me. Look, the back door's open.
He seen me and he hightailed it, the devil.
We'll round him up for you, ma'am. Don't worry.
Oh, I don't know why I bother hauling him back. If he's run away once, he's run away 1,000 times. This time he ran because I wouldn't buy him a gun. He wanted a real one. That boy's just gun crazy, I swear. I got him a nice Barlow knife instead.
Barlow
I
knife?
reckon it didn't signify, and off he runs.
Barlow knife?
The kid. Chester, find that kid.
Marshal, has he done something bad with it? I told him to use it careful. He promised he'd use it carefully.
No, never mind, Chester. He's got Clay's strawberry roan. We'd never catch up to him.
Oh, I try to bring him up right. I tell him to be good, but he don't listen. He just don't listen.
Now, calm yourself, ma'am. Just calm yourself.
Here's your little bundle, Mr. Dillon.
What? Yeah, give it to me. That's pretty heavy. Here, you're better at knots than I am. Open it, will you?
From the moment he was born, he's been nothing but tribulation to me.
Now, please, ma'am. What's he got in it, Chester?
A shirt, stockings, piece of sausage, and this.
44 double action.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dillon. That's Clay's gun. Sonny didn't manage to keep it long, did he?
Well, if he wants a gun that bad, he's bound to get hold of another one somewhere, somehow. Chester, call Mr. Hightower over.
Hey! Hey, Mr. Hightower! Oh. Come on over. Mr. Dillon wants you.
Marshal, could I have please a drink of water?
What? Oh, Ziegler, I forgot all about you. Chester, where are the keys?
Yeah, right there on the desk.
Oh. There we are. It'll be safe for you to go home now.
I can go back by the farm.
Yeah, that's right. I'll send for you for the trial.
Oh, danke schön. Danke schön.
Watch where you're going, you dumb...
Bitte, excuse me. Bitte.
Yes, Marshal.
Mr. Hightower, it appears that we can do business after all. Get some paper and a pencil. I want some notices printed.
Fire away.
Wanted for murder.
Wanted for murder.
What's the boy's name?
Bonnie. William Bonnie.
William Bonnie.
William Bonnie.
Age 12. Height about 5 feet. Hair light, eyes blue. I don't suppose he's known by any other name.
I know. Everybody just called him Billy. Or the Kid.
Also known as Billy. The Kid.
Gunsmoke, under the direction of Norman MacDonald, stars William Conrad as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal. Tonight's story was specially written for Gunsmoke by Walter Newman, with music composed and conducted by Rex Corey. Featured in tonight's cast were Don Diamond, Parley Bear, Harry Bartell, and Howard McNear, with Richard Beals, Paul Dubov, Georgia Ellis, and Mary Lansing. Join us again next week as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal, fights to bring law and order out of the wild violence of the West in Gunsmoke.
Radio's first Western, Death Valley Days, dramatized pioneer life in the United States. The program has been described as the most successful of the early Western dramas. It was said to present true stories of the Old West, with CBS asserting that because of its reputation for accuracy in broadcasting the dramatic history of the development of the West, Death Valley Days was recommended by teachers to their students wherever it was heard to supplement their studies at school.
Shoe fly.
As the old morning bugle call of the covered wagon trains dies away among the echoes, another true story of Death Valley Days is brought to you by the Pacific Coast Borax Company, who give you also the miracle of borax in 3 convenient forms. 20 Mule Team Borax for household use, 20 Mule Team Borax soap chips in the big blue and yellow sunshine box for washing clothes and dishes, and Boraxo for toilet use. Now for the old ranger and his evening's yarn, which has the extraordinary title of Shoe Fly.
Well, the title's no more extraordinary than the woman herself.
Shoe Fly was a woman?
Yes, woman prospector.
Well...
Oh, now, I've come across plenty of women prospectors in my time. Some of them I've already told you about. Now, there was Happy Days at Goldfield, remember?
Yeah.
Went on that glorious junket at the age of 80, hopping freights clear across the continent and back.
Yes, I remember.
And Silver Susie, that operated the mine at Cerro Gordo for years and years.
in order to put her children through school and college. And Ma Riggs and Hard Pan Hattie and, I've known a bunch of them in the desert around Death Valley. But none of them quite like the woman I'm going to tell you about tonight. I can remember perfectly the first time I ever met her. Me and Eddie Granite had come to Independence to file a claim we just located up in the Panamints. As we walked into the county recorder's office, we found him busy with another customer. A smallish woman with sharp eyes and wispy gray hair. Dressed, it's funny how I remember such things. Dressed in a gray and white calico dress and a black straw hat.
To corner monument number 4, thence northwest 300 feet to place of beginning, including all dips, spurs, angles, and variations. Mm-hmm. This looks all right?
It's all right.
The name of the mining claim above described is and shall be known as I'm sorry, I can't quite make this out. It looks like shoe fly.
Here's shoe fly. Goes it expresses by sentiments.
You mean,
Shoe fly, don't bother me.
Oh, I see. Notice the claim jumpers, eh?
Exactly.
Well, let's hope they take the hint.
They'd better.
Located this 21st day of May, 1906. This your signature here?
Yeah.
There's no other?
I got only one name.
No, I mean there's no other locator?
No.
Well.
Law don't call for more than one, does it?
Oh, no, of course not.
Then why'd you act so surprised?
Well, you see, you're being a woman, I thought.
Plenty of women locate claims.
They generally have partners, though.
Men partners.
Yep.
More fools, eh?
Maybe.
Yep. What do I owe you?
Recorder's fee is $1.
All right. Here you are.
Now, you understand about assessment work. State law calls for $100 worth each year to be...
I know all about that.
All right. Just wanted to make sure. Folks have been known to lose legal right to a claim because they didn't do the necessary development work.
Don't worry. I won't be losing my rights to this claim.
I hope not.
And now, give me my change, will you? In a hurry.
Well, let's see. You handed me a 5.
Yeah.
And here's 1, 2, 3, 4 you get back.
Haven't you got any real money?
Why, that's...
No, I don't like that Los Angeles paper. I want silver.
All right, ma'am, whatever you say. Here you are. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. That's better.
Surprised she didn't bite him to make sure they was bona fide. Maybe she ain't got any teeth.
What's that?
Nothing, ma'am. I was just talking to my partner here.
Oh, hello, Eddie. Hello, Ranger. Didn't recognize you.
Hello, Jim.
Howdy.
I'll be with you boys in a minute. Just as soon as this lady is through.
I'm through now. Good day.
Good day, madam. And good luck to the shoe fly. Shoe fly, don't bother me. Shoe fly, don't bother me. Shoe fly, don't bother me. I belong to Company G.
Gosh, what a charter.
Hey, who is she, Jim?
I don't know. I never saw her before today.
If you never see her again, it'll be too soon, huh?
Well, I know 2 desert rats I am glad to see. Where you fellas been all this time?
Oh, scratching around.
Did you find anything?
Would we be here if we hadn't?
Hey, you sound like old shoe fly.
Hey, now, you look here.
What have you located this time, boys? The lost gun site?
Maybe.
It's silver, anyhow.
And in the Panamints.
Here's a copy of the location notice.
Oh, let's see it. Uh-huh. Notice hereby given to the undersigned have located 1,500 feet by 600 feet, vein situated between Tilbury Canyon and Wild Rose Canyon in the Panamint Mining District. Wow. That's a funny thing.
What is?
Why, that's the same locality as where she just located her claim.
Who?
That woman who was just in here.
You mean that...
Old shoe fly?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll be darned.
Are you sure?
Well, here's the location notice she filed.
Let me see.
See?
Situated south of Wild Rose Canyon.
And north of Tuber Canyon.
That can't be any place but between the two.
No.
You're right.
Neighbors, eh? Well, that'll make it nice.
I don't think.
Well, we run out of butter and eggs, but we can borrow from her. If we get lonesome evenings, why,
Remember the ladies' sentiments, boys. Shoo fly, don't bother me. Shoo fly, don't bother me. Shoo fly, don't bother me. I belong to Company G. Shoo fly, don't bother me. Shoo fly, don't bother me. Shoo fly, don't bother me. I belong.
Well, hot weather set in about then, and Eddie and me quit the desert for several months. The time we was ready to go back and start work on our claim, we'd forgot all about our shoe-fly neighbor till we was part way up the canyon.
Hello.
What's the matter?
Look at that.
Huh? Where?
That sign.
Private property. Keep off. No trespassing. Penal code provision. Well, can you beat that?
That ain't all neither. Look.
A shade across the trail.
Yeah. Just in case you can't read.
Well, who in tarnation did that?
Whoever it is ain't got no right to put a barrier up across this canyon. How do they think we're going to get up there to our property?
No trespassing. Penal code provisions under section 587 to 625. Is that a threat, do you reckon?
It'll take more than that to scare me. Get up, Jerry.
Wait a minute, Eddie. What are you going to do?
Right under it.
Well, it's pretty low now. I don't think you can negotiate, not unless you unpack.
Well, then we'll take it down.
Is it padlocked?
No.
Good.
Well, I'll unfasten it and you can drive the burros through.
You'll do nothing of the kind.
Huh?
I'm the owner here. Nobody goes through without my say-so.
Why, it's her.
The shoe-fly woman.
Oh, you know me, huh?
Well, yes, of course.
We was in the county recorder's office the same time you was, last June.
And he blabbed to you, did he?
No, certainly not.
Well, we couldn't help overhearing the name of your claim, though.
And its location and a few other important things.
Well, we did...
And now you come snooping around to see what I got.
Oh, not at all, ma'am.
Well, you won't have a chance to see nothing, because I'm letting nobody pass this chain.
Yeah, but, madam...
And if you try to force your way past, you'll get this.
Hey, wait a minute.
A gun.
Loaded, too, and I'm a good shot.
Now, listen, ma'am.
You heard what I said.
We got...
Go on, vamoose.
Well, let me explain.
No back talk now.
We ain't trespassers.
No.
No. Huh. It looked like it's taking down that chain.
We got a claim further up the canyon. Now, if you don't believe it, we'll show you the records.
We're on our way up there now.
Not by this trail, you ain't.
Yeah, but we...
And that's final.
Well, this is the only direct trail, ma'am.
Yeah, to get up there from the other side, we'd have to go away to Heck and back.
Yeah, that's your funeral.
Well, now, surely you wouldn't put us to all that time and trouble, ma'am.
You see that chain, don't you?
Well, yes, but...
And you see that sign?
Sure.
And you see this gun. I don't know how I can make it any plainer to you. Unless I...
Hey, be careful.
Hey, well, what do you mean shooting at us like that?
That's your starting signal.
You...
And you turn your outfit around and start down this trail, do you hear? And if you ain't on your way by the time I count 10, I'll shoot again. And this time I'll take good aim.
But...
1, 2...
Why, you...
3...
Come on, Eddie, come on. There's no use arguing with us.
The old she-devil.
Turn around, Kate. Turn around. Down we go.
7... 8...
Well, sir, that was the beginning of our troubles with our neighbor Shoefly. Not only did we have to take a long, roundabout, difficult trail back and forth to our property, but whenever she got so much as a glimpse of us, she'd come stalking around with that gun of hers, taking occasional pot shots at us just to kind of remind us that she was still there. After a couple of months of this, we finally went to the sheriff and complained.
Ain't just us, Sheriff. She's got all the prospectors in that region terrorized. You can laugh if you want to, but...
So one poor old woman's got you all you tough desert rats terrorized. Right.
Maybe terrorize is putting it a little bit too strong.
Yeah, she's giving us all the willies anyway.
Well, that's a fact, Sheriff. To say nothing of the inconvenience she's caused us.
Yeah, she's got an idea we're trying to jump her claim.
Whereas she's really the one who's claiming something that don't belong to her.
What do you mean?
Why, her property don't take in that canyon trail.
Well, the boundary runs about 25 feet to the east of it.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
We've seen the location notice over at the recorder's office.
Well, have you explained this to her?
Explained? Heck, we can't get within shouting distance of her without having her take a shot at her.
Crazy, most likely.
She ain't crazy. She's just ornery.
In any case, ain't no use arguing with her.
Well, I'll go up and talk turkey to her.
Good.
Well, you best take a posse with you, Sheriff.
I reckon I can tackle her single-handed.
Hey, you don't know Shoefly.
Tell me, is she there most of the time?
All the time.
Every minute of the day and night.
He never leaves the place.
Yeah. Who's working the ground for her?
I don't know. We never got close enough to see.
It's my guess she's doing the work herself.
What makes you think so?
Well, of course, I don't know who she'd ever find who'd be willing to work for her. The old porcupine.
Well, now, Sheriff, if she is doing it herself, she ain't getting very far. Her eyes are never off that trail for long.
Well, you leave her to me. I'll go up there and talk to her.
If she don't shoot you first.
Why, George, she has got you terrorized. Now, let's see. You say this property of hers is between Wild Road
And so, a few days later, the sheriff started out from Independence, eastward across the Argus Range, and up into the Panamas. He found Shoefly looking for all the world like somebody's nice old grandmother, sitting in a rocking chair knitting in front of her cabin. In her lap, though, under the knitting, lay a gun which she reached for as he rode up.
Howdy.
You can't get up the canyon this way, stranger. This is private property.
Shoefly, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
You're the owner?
I am.
You're the person I come to see.
Shoefly ain't for sale, mister. I'm hanging on to it, so you can turn right around and go back where you come from.
I'm not interested in buying your mine.
Well, then what do you want?
I happen to be the sheriff of Inyo County.
Oh, well, you can't scare me.
No. No, I understand you're not exactly the timid type. Been hearing complaints about you lately from some of our citizens. Seems you're not behaving in a very friendly fashion toward you.
Just get my property against claim jumpers.
Nobody's trying to jump your claim, ma'am.
They would if I give them half a chance. They think just 'cause I'm a woman and an old woman, they can walk right onto my ground.
If you're talking about the trail up the canyon, that don't belong to you.
See that sign, don't you?
Yeah, sure. But that still don't make it yours. Your claim don't come within 25 feet of that trail.
Why, listen, I located
I
it.
know exactly what you located. Got the papers right here in my pocket.
Oh.
You've got to take that chain down from across the trail and let folks by.
I'll do nothing of the
That's
kind.
a public right-of-way, and you can't block it.
Well,
Either you take that chain down, or I'll take you along with me back to Independence.
Why, you can't do that.
Oh, yes, I can. I'm the sheriff of this here county, and I can arrest you and lock you up for 30 days or 60 days or whatever length of time the judge decides would be good for you.
You're in league with them claim jumpers, I know. They want to get me away from here so they can take possession of the shoe fly.
Now you're talking nonsense. Come on, let's see you take that chain down. I don't like to arrest ladies, but if I have to...
All right, take it down. Good. Sign's gonna stay where it is, though.
I have no objection to that. Oh, go ahead.
Chain padlock. I know if I can find the key.
I'll wait till you do.
I think maybe our Sing's got it.
Who's our Sing?
Man who works for me.
Chinaman, huh?
Yeah.
Where is he?
He went down this morning with a load of ore. He won't be back till tomorrow sometime.
Oh. Well, then I might as well make myself comfortable.
You gonna wait?
Yep. Not gonna budge till I see that chain down.
He might have left the key in the cabin.
Or, just might even be in your own pocket.
Eh?
Well, no harm in looking anyway. I thought so. Let me have it.
I'll do the unlocking myself.
Yeah, just as you say. Only be quick about it. I've got to get back to Independence today.
There. Now, you satisfied?
I will be if you keep it down. But just let me hear that you put that chain or any other kind of barrier up again, and I'll be paying you another call with a pair of handcuffs.
You can't scare me. You nor nobody else.
All right. Come on, boy. Let's get going.
There's nothing that walks on two legs can scare me, even if it does wear a badge.
Come on, up this way. Easy now. We'll pay a call on the boys before we go back and tell them everything's fixed up fine. Trail's open, Grandma's busy with her knitting. Hey, oh boy, oh. Who fired that shot?
I did.
Why, you old...
I seen the quail up yonder, so I'd bring it down for supper.
Oh, you did, eh? Quail for supper. Man, for breakfast, she means. I got a good mind to go back and... Oh, what's the... Come on, Benno. Come on, boy. Come on, easy now. When the sheriff told us he'd put the fear of the law into old Shoefly, we had our doubts. We soon found our doubts was justified. She didn't put the chain up again across the trail, but...
It might just as well be there, Sheriff, for all we can get by.
Why, she sits there in that rocking chair of hers and pops away at us with her gun and we so much as come within hailing distance.
Oh, she don't ever hit you, though.
'Cause we duck.
Oh, she wouldn't hit you anyway. It's just a gesture, this shooting. Why, she done the same thing to me the time I was up there.
Oh, you didn't tell us about that.
Well, wasn't worth mentioning.
Shot at you, did she?
Well, she said she was aiming at a quail.
And you let her get away with it? You're a fine sheriff. Why didn't you arrest her and throw her in jail?
Well, yeah, 'cause she's got him buffaloed like all the rest of us.
No such thing.
Then go and arrest her now.
I would if I...
Oh, I know there'd be an if.
Now listen, fellers, I'll admit this Shoefly woman's an annoyance.
Annoyance? She's a menace.
Now, Eddie, come.
Well, she really is a public nuisance, Sheriff. We can't work our claim like it ought to be worked with her around.
Yeah, she's driving everybody away from there.
Well, I'd like to do something about it, and I will when I get the time to go over there again. But you see, right now, I got some important business to attend to. It just can't be put off.
In the opposite direction, I suppose.
Up in Montana.
Huh?
Montana?
Mm-hmm. Just got word this morning they caught the leader of the Bruce gang. You know, the fellers who robbed the First National.
Sure.
And they're holding him in Butte.
Well, when are you leaving?
Right away.
And that means you'll be away a couple of weeks.
Most likely.
Good.
When I get back, though, I'll do something about your friend Shoefly. I promise you. I'll go up there and tell her where to head in. She hands me any back.
By the time the sheriff returned from Montana, there was no getting up into Wild Rose Canyon or getting down from there either. The first storm of the winter set in, and a bad one it was, too. For almost a week it snowed, and the wind blowed a gale. All we could do, Eddie and me, was to plug up the chinks in our cabin and thank our lucky stars we'd laid in a good supply of wood to keep us from freezing to death. Even after the storm had cleared, the drifts was so deep that it was just about impossible to break any kind of a trail. So you can imagine our surprise one day as we was sitting playing checkers on an improvised checkerboard with the pieces of ore for men.
Your move.
Well, now let me study this situation for a minute. Now, wait a minute. Now, if I move this feller, he'll jump me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Now, on the other hand, if I leave him where he is, well, he'll take...
It is somebody knocking.
Yes, it is. My gosh, it sounds like... It is.
Shoefly.
Yeah.
Thank the Lord you're here. I was afraid maybe you'd gone, cleared out before the storm.
No, we've been here right along.
Come in. Here, let me give you a hand.
If you hadn't have been here, I don't know what I'd have done. I couldn't have went back to him. Oh, I couldn't.
Pull that chair up for her, Eddie, by the stove there.
All right.
That's it. He's half frozen.
Take the cold that's making me shiver.
Yeah, how about some whiskey?
No.
Yeah, you'd better.
No.
It'll do you good, ma'am. That'll warm you up.
Yeah, put new life into you.
Didn't do him no good. He just turned bluer and bluer.
Who?
I'll sing.
Who?
I'll sing. Chinaman is working for me. You ever see a Chinaman turn blue, mister? Well, it ain't blue exactly. It's green. Yellow and blue, that makes green, don't it?
Well, what are you talking about?
I'll sing.
Well, is he sick?
Dead.
What?
Dead?
Yep.
When?
Where?
Oh, 4 or 5 days ago. Last Tuesday, I think it was.
Over at your place?
Yep.
Gosh.
Yeah. What was the matter with him?
I don't know. Took bad all of a sudden with pains. Brought him into the shack and done everything I could for him, but he just got bluer and bluer. Then had a convulsion and he died.
Good Lord.
Where's he now?
Right where he died, of course. Where do you think? Right where he's been for the past 5 days and 5 nights. Laying on the bunk. Just staring.
Well, now, you'd best have some whiskey, man.
No.
After what you've been through,
You stayed right there with him all this time?
Nothing else I could do. I couldn't get out with the blizzard raging, and I couldn't put him out.
No.
I didn't have the nerve.
5 days and 5 nights. Snowed in with a corpse.
Gosh.
It was awful. The nights especially. Storm howling outside. Him laid out there so... Oh, I never knowed before what it is to be afraid. I've always said there was nothing in God's world could scare me. But when it ain't in this world, when it's something dead, stiff and staring...
You take it easy now, ma'am.
Yeah. Try not to think about it.
Well, as soon as the storm cleared, I got out. I knowed I couldn't make it all the way to Darwin, but I figured I might be able to make it up here to your place.
I don't know how you ever did it with no trail, Brooke.
You let me stay here, won't you?
Why, of course.
Sure.
You just make yourself comfortable here for the night. In the morning, we'll all go back up to your place.
Not me.
All right, then you can stay here, and Eddie and me will go over and tend to things.
I'm never going back there.
What?
I'll never set foot on that ground again.
You mean
I'm quitting.
You're going to sell out?
Oh, sell out or just clear out. I'm all through with the shoe fly. Yep, and I'm all through with the Panamints in the desert.
Oh, well, now. You may feel different later on.
Waiting to find out. Back to Idaho, where I come from. Just as fast as I can get there.
Well, I'll be. Say, hand me that there bottle, will you, Ranger?
Yes.
The lady may not want a drink, but I do.
Yeah. Did our thing, did he have a wife and children, ma'am?
No family at all.
Well, for a Chinaman, that's a calamity. He'll leave no descendants.
Yeah.
Well, I hereby appoint myself his descendant, by adoption, to bury him proper, protect his effects, and set off the firecrackers in his honor at least once a year. To our thing, my neighbor and revered ancestor.
Program you've just heard is another true story of Death Valley days. Presented for your enjoyment every Friday evening at this hour by the Pacific Coast Borax Company. Producers of 20 Mule Team Borax for household use, 20 Mule Team Borax soap chips in the big blue and yellow sunshine box for washing clothes and dishes, and Boraxo for toilet use. The discovery of borax in Death Valley back in the 1880s was an event of far-reaching importance to industries as well as to each individual home in America. So great was the need for this gift of nature that men and mules endured untold hardship to bring the treasure out. The largest wagons ever made were created for the purpose. And strings of 20 mules were trained to answer to the jerk line and jump the traces in rounding the precipitous mountain trails safely with their great loads. So that's the story of where the trademark 20 Mule Team came from. And its presence on your box of soap chips is important to you because it guarantees that 20 Mule Team Borax soap chips contain enough 20 Mule Team Borax to be of real benefit in cutting grease and grime, dissolving dirt, conditioning your water, whether it's hard or soft, and to make creamy, long-lasting suds. Next week, the old Ranger plans to tell you about the telephone operator who had her finger on the pulse of Goldfield for 33 years. The artists featured in tonight's Death Valley Days program were Irene Hubbard, the old Ranger John McBride, Milton C. Herman, Frank Butler, and Jeffrey Bryant. This is George Hicks speaking.
In 1933, producer George W. Trendle and writer Fran Stryker had the Lone Ranger ride out of the western sky, and it was high-o silver away from then on via Mutual nationally until 1954. Always at his side was his faithful Indian companion, Tonto, portrayed by John Todd, who was a loyal, intelligent and resourceful Indian, very different from the way Indians usually were portrayed on the silver screen.
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-Yo Silver, the Lone Ranger. With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early western United States. Nowhere in the pages of history can one find a greater champion of justice. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past come the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again.
On Silver! Let's go, big fellow! I'll Silver!
It was morning, and the stagecoach had just arrived in Alkali Bend from the territorial capital. Only one passenger got out, but when he did so, a hush fell over Alkali Bend's single main street, as if the new arrival had been disaster itself.
It's John Ames. Who'd have thought he'd ever come back here?
Hello, John. I never expected to see you back in this town again.
Didn't you, Sheriff?
You got a right to do what you want. But I thought when your time was up and you got out of jail, you'd have sense enough to stay away from Alkali Bend. What are you here for? Looking for somebody?
Yep. Is Todd Bush still around?
Now, look here, John.
I ask you a question, Sheriff. Either he's around or he isn't. You can tell me that, can't you? If you can, I'll ask someone who can.
Well, yes, he's around.
I thought he might be. What about Bart Clay?
Bart's here, too.
Good. What about Gow? Sam Gow? He's around, too, I take it.
They're all still around, John. What do you want to know for? What's on
What
your...
would you suppose, Sheriff? It was their lies that sent me to jail, wasn't it? Why do you suppose I might want to see them?
What are you planning to do, John?
What do you think, Sheriff? Your guess is as good as anyone's.
you heard the conversation between Ames and the sheriff, huh, Tonto?
Ah.
I wonder if Ames intends to kill those men.
Oh, me not know.
Ames spent 7 years in jail, convicted of holding up a stage and killing the driver. Maybe he was innocent, and maybe he wasn't. But if he was, he'd likely come out of jail feeling pretty bitter.
You think him innocent?
I haven't the slightest idea. That doesn't concern us right now.
Ah.
We have something more urgent to do. Here, Silver. We must warn those men Ames has threatened to kill. The sheriff will no doubt do the same. We should be able to reach them ahead of him. Easy, big fella. You ready, Tonto?
Be ready.
Good. Come on, Silver.
Get him uptown.
The Lone Ranger's first stop was at the cabin owned by Sam Gow, an eccentric old trapper who lived near the foot of the mountain.
Oh, Silver. Oh, easy, steady now.
Easy.
This is Gow's place, Tonto. Sam Gow.
Not answer.
He may be afraid of my mask. Come on. Are you in there, Sam? Don't be afraid of my mask. This isn't a hold-up. I'm not an outlaw. Answer, or we're coming in there.
Maybe I'm not home.
We'll go inside and leave a note for him. He's an old mountain man, and he shouldn't object to our entering his cabin in his absence.
Oh, what happened here?
I wonder if Ames hasn't been here ahead of us.
It looked that way. Plenty big fight here.
Yes, furniture smashed, bullet holes, and... What's this?
What you find?
Come here, Tonto.
What's that?
What do you think of this, Tonto?
Them bloodstains.
Right. As far as Sam's concerned, it looks as if we're too late. Come on, Tonto. We better hurry and warn the others.
But when the Lone Ranger and Tonto arrived at Todd Bush's homestead, and later at Bart Clay's one-man cattle spread, the story was the same. In each cabin, smashed furniture told of a struggle, bullet holes told of a passion for vengeance, and bloodstains told of vengeance achieved. At the end, the Lone Ranger swung Silver around and, sighted by Tonto, headed for Alkali Bend at his greatest speed.
Come on, Silver!
At the exact moment when the Lone Ranger and Tonto turned their horses toward Alkali Bend, John Ames was already arriving in town. He didn't enter by way of the main street, as an innocent man might have been expected to do, but circled by roundabout ways till he reached the rear of the hotel where he had engaged a room. There he hid his horse in a clump of trees, entered the hotel by the back way, and climbed to his room by means of the rear stairs. Then he opened the door to his room and suddenly stopped.
Hello. It's you, Sheriff.
Hello, John. I've been waiting for you. Might close that door first. I have some questions to ask.
Yeah? What questions?
Well, I came up here to try to persuade you to forget this revenge business and get out of town before something happens that might make you sorry you'd come here.
Yeah?
While waiting for you, I watched out the window. I saw the way you came here. Saw you had your horse in those trees out back. What was all that for, John? You have something on your mind that made it necessary for you to sneak back here?
If I'd done anything, you'd know about it.
Not necessarily.
You left town to warn Todd and the others I was here, didn't you?
No, I sent Bill, my deputy. He's as good at warning as I am. I've just been hanging around, keep my eye on things.
You see him plenty, it seems. Well, what are you going to do? Arrest me for coming into the hotel the back way?
Nope. I can't arrest a man till I got reason for it. In your case, I hope I won't have reason. So, getting back to what brought me here, why don't you leave town?
I'm going to.
Huh?
That's what I'm back for. I changed my mind about things. I'm leaving right now.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
You can help me pack if you want. Maybe it'd be better if I rode out of town and you sent my things on after me.
Say, aren't you in sort of a hurry?
Well, I know.
Is there more to this than meets the eye? Maybe you should wait until Bill gets back. You've been out of town. Maybe you've been making calls you shouldn't have made. You know, it seems to me...
Listen, Sheriff, I haven't laid hands on anyone. You gotta believe me. But just the same, I want to leave town. I've got to.
Well, nothing to stop you, I reckon.
Who's that?
It's Bill.
Hey, Sheriff, hurry!
In here, Bill. Come on in.
Oh, there you are. Why didn't you answer, Sheriff?
I answered. What are you so fretted about, Bill?
I see you've already arrested him.
Nothing of the sort. Nothing to arrest him for. What is there?
I've already told you there isn't.
Oh,
Sheriff.
there isn't, huh? Well, I'd call murdering 3 men at once plenty to arrest anybody for.
What's that, Bill?
Listen,
You
Sheriff.
shut up. Bill, what happened?
I called on all 3 like they told me to, Sheriff.
Yep.
Todd Bush, Sam Gow, Bart Clay.
Eh?
Only
Well.
I was too late. Ames had been there ahead of me. Furniture was all smashed up. Bloodstains everywhere.
James, you're under arrest. You can talk later. Did you find the bodies, Bill?
No, he must have hit him someplace, figuring we couldn't prove anything without him.
Yeah, that's where he's wrong. We'll find him all right. Don't worry about that. John? What's that outside?
Oh, I'm sorry about that, Sheriff, but Jeff Talbot was along with me. I reckon he spread the news. Wait a minute. Yeah, it sounds like he stirred up a lynch mob.
Then we've got to act fast. Sounds like they're mostly out front, huh? All right, come on, John. Looks like we'll have to get out of here the same way you came in, the back way.
Sheriff, I know what you think,
If
but
you don't get a hustle on before that mob outside thinks of the back way, you'll soon do most of your running on air. Now, come on, this way.
You lead the way, Sheriff. I'll stay behind you.
All right, come on,
Ames,
make
you
snap.
stay with me. Don't try to get
That's
away.
it. Pass it.
Come on, hurry up. Right down there.
Here's the door. Hurry past the blacksmith shop to the jailhouse. If no one sees us, we'll be all...
Come on and get him.
I'll guess this.
We gotta run for it.
we can't.
Fred, there he is.
Oh, stand back.
Let go of me. I got the sheriff. Someone get in.
Let go. I didn't kill anyone.
Riding Scout and Silver, the Lone Ranger and Tonto rushed toward the mob surrounding John Ames. The masked man saw that most of the men were not armed. Instead of guns, they carried clubs and sticks.
Most of these men are without guns, Tonto. We'll take a chance and try to rescue Ames.
The masked man. There's a redskin with him. Watch out. We'll be trampled.
Ames, where are you?
Help, they got me.
Hold out your arms. There, hold on now. One, two, there.
They got him. He's getting away. Shoot him. Shoot him now.
As the Lone Ranger, Tonto, and John Ames left, there were a few scattered shots, but the masked man had guessed correctly. The excited mob milled and jostled the few armed men, so that by the time guns were brought into play, Scout and Silver were already out of range.
Easy, Silver, easy. Get hit, Ames. I'm all right. I'll get you up there. There.
Where are we going?
To our camp, where you'll find no lynch mob. Come on, Silver.
Come on, Scout.
An hour later, in a sheltered glade at a safe distance from Alkali Bend.
Better get a fire started, Tonto. It's dark and we'll need something to eat.
Me fix.
Now then, Ames, I want you to understand me. We didn't get you out of town because we think you're innocent. We did it because we want justice to take its rightful course. If you're guilty of those murders, you'll pay for them.
I knew it would be this way. I knew it as soon as I saw those cabins.
What's that?
I'll tell you the truth, mister. I don't expect you to believe me any more than those others would. I was trying to light out of town in a hurry because I knew I'd be blamed for killing those men.
You didn't kill them?
I did not. I went out to their cabins and found the furniture all smashed up.
Yes, we saw that. We were there ourselves. There's one thing.
Yes?
Hard to say. But those cabins seemed as if they'd been dressed up for effect. All of them looked exactly the same. Now, I should think that anyone that was...
What matter? Who fired a shot? You get hit, Kemosabe?
No, Tonto. Ames was hit.
Him hit bad.
Now, one moment. Very bad, Tonto. He's dead.
The curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger story. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments. Now, to continue our story. John Ames, ex-convict, was threatened by a lynch mob when appearances suggested that he had killed the 3 men whose testimony had sent him to jail. The Lone Ranger and Tonto rescued him and carried him to their camp, where bullets fired by a hidden killer struck him down. The masked man pronounced him dead, and Tonto circled the camp in an effort to pick up the killer's trail. But a little later...
Tonto, where are you?
Me over here.
Find anything?
No. There's no moon. It's too dark. Maybe we'll wait until sunup. Then maybe find sign.
But you're sure whoever fired that shot is cleared out, huh?
That right. Him gone.
Good. And I can tell you the truth. Ames is unconscious, but he's not dead.
Huh?
We'll get him into town to a doctor.
Him not dead? Why you say him dead?
To let the killer think he'd accomplished his purpose, so he wouldn't fire again.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Give me a hand. We'll take Ames to old Dr. Farrell. By the time we get back here, we'll be light enough to pick up the killer's trail.
When the Lone Ranger and Tonto arrived in Alkali Bend with John Ames, it was still dark, and they had no difficulty reaching Dr. Farrell's home unobserved. While the masked man explained their errand, Dr. Farrell studied him shrewdly. In the end, he had a good idea who his masked visitor was, and made no objection to his requests.
You want me to take care of Ames and keep my mouth shut about him being here. Is that it, stranger?
Right, Doctor. There's no need for Tonto and me to stay here, is there?
No, none at all. Ames should recover all right.
Then we'll be getting on. We have work to do. Come on, Tonto. We'll come back as soon as we're finished.
Good.
Adios.
Goodbye. Better warn Martha not to say anything about this. Martha?
I'm awake. Land sakes, Henry, what's going on at this time of night? First I hear voices, then I hear the door close. Then when I look out the window, I see a masked man and a redskin riding away. Land of gosh, is that John Ames?
Yes, he's wounded. The masked man and the Indian you saw brought him here.
Get him out of here at once. You murderers all.
He's unconscious, Martha, and he's unarmed.
Oh, gives me goose flesh just to look at him, the ornery killer.
We don't know whether he's a killer or not. We assume that he is. But, Martha, there's something I'll have to ask you to promise me.
What's that?
Don't tell anyone John Ames is here.
Me?
Yes, you.
Why, Henry, of all things to say, when did I ever talk when I shouldn't? Why, if anyone can keep a secret, I can. You ought to know that. Now, if it was some women I know, you might have cause to say that. But if there's any one thing I can do, I can keep a secret. That's what I told him, Sarah. I told him, if anyone can keep a secret, I can. Why, my lands, Martha, my dear, I know you can keep a secret. And John Ames is at your house, you say? Yes, he was wounded. But you won't tell anyone, will you, Sarah? Why, Martha, the idea. I can keep a secret just as well as you can. And that's just what I told her, Mrs. Pincus. I can keep a secret just as well as she can. The idea hinting that I might tell anyone. Oh, who cares if John Ames is sick at her house? That's not so much of a secret, I shouldn't think.
We ought to do something about it.
Doc can promise what he wants. We didn't promise anything.
If Ames deserved to hang yesterday, then he deserves it just as much today.
Let's go get him.
All right, all of you. We heard from the women that Ames is at the doctor's house. Ames is a killer. There's no use putting the law to the expense of hanging him when we can do it ourselves. We ought to string him up before that masked man butts in again. Come on, follow me. We'll go to Doc's house. If Doc tries to stop us, so much the worse for him.
For the second time, mistakenly believing themselves to be serving the ends of justice, the townspeople set out to seize John Ames. The sheriff had been taken out of town on an errand, and there was no one to stop the mob except old Doc Farrell himself.
Open up! Come on, open up!
Hey, what's the meaning of this?
We've come for John Ames. Better get out of the way, Doc.
This time we're going to get him.
Stand aside, Doc, before you get hurt.
Now, hold on a minute.
We're going inside.
Come on, man. Stand back. This is my home. You have no right to come in here. Get back. Get out of here.
This way, boys. Ames is in the front room.
Come on, let's get in the room now.
Great heavens, what's the meaning of this? Where'd these men come from, Henry?
This is your fault, Martha.
Mine? Why, Henry, what are you saying?
If you hadn't talked when I told you not to.
Talk, me?
Drag him out of bed.
Come on, you dirty killer.
This time your number's up.
Wait, please. Listen to me. I didn't kill anyone. You don't understand.
If you didn't kill him, who did?
I don't know.
We're not listening to you. Come on, fellas, pick him up. I got a horse and a rope for him outside. Let's go. Let's get this over with. The sheriff will be getting back soon, and we want this skunk hanging before he gets here. It's the masked man again.
Watch out. He's drawn his guns.
Let me get out of this.
Out of my way. Doctor, how did this happen? Who told these men Ames was here? I thought you promised me his presence would be kept a secret.
I'm sorry, stranger. I made the mistake other men have made. I trusted my wife not to talk.
Henry!
You shut up, Martha. You've talked once too often. From now on, I'm the boss around this house. And if you don't like it, I'll buy your ticket back to Ohio right away and put you on the stage myself. You understand that? Do you?
Yes, Henry. I'm sorry, Henry.
You ought to be.
I was afraid something like this might happen. That's why I came ahead of Tonto and hurried back here as soon as possible. I have news for you men. Todd Bush, Bart Clay, and Sam Gow are not dead. They made it look as if they'd been killed in order to get rid of John Ames. It nearly happened. One of them, Sam Gow, discovered our camp and shot Ames. This morning we picked up his trail and followed him to their hideout. They were hiding out in an old cabin in the mountains. They're on their way here now.
How do we know they are?
Because I tell you, my friend is bringing them here.
How soon will they get here?
In about an hour.
You expect us to believe that?
You don't have to believe it. Wait an hour or so and you'll see the truth for yourself.
Wait, huh? What for? The sheriff can get back and save this polecat's hide? Is that what you're up to? Just stalling for time?
That's all he's doing, just
You don't believe me, huh?
No, by the eternal, I don't. What do the rest of you say? It's only a trick.
He took Ames away from us once before, and he's trying to do it again.
Don't let him get away with it. It's a trick.
That's what I say. Come on,
what are we waiting?
What's the matter, Jeff? Change your mind?
You got them guns pointed right at my stomach.
That's right, Jeff. Now try and imagine what would happen if they went off.
You won't pull them triggers. You wouldn't dare.
Then what are you waiting for? Ames is right behind me. Come and get him.
I
Didn't you hear me? Come and get him.
What are we doing?
Don't feel up to it, huh? All right. Then we'll wait till Tonto arrives. One move from anyone in this room, you'll be the first to regret it.
The situation in Doc Farrell's crowded living room was tense. For the moment, the Lone Ranger was safe. He was 1 against 20, But his opponents knew, or thought they knew, that if they made a move to take the man he was protecting, at least one of their number would die, perhaps more. And so the situation remained for a half hour.
Lem says the masked man won't shoot.
Then whispers, pitched to prevent the masked man from hearing, began to circulate through the crowd.
He says he's the Lone Ranger. Lone Ranger never shoots to kill. Hey, it's the Lone Ranger. He's bluffing. He won't shoot. No, it's the Lone Ranger.
The whispers increased. The looks cast his way alerted the Lone Ranger for danger. Then suddenly the mob surged forward. The Lone Ranger fired 2 warning shots. When he saw that the mob would not be stopped, he backed into a corner to use his guns as clubs. He fought heroically as the men pushed in. He disposed of several of his opponents, but others surged forward. The masked man approached the end of his strength. In another moment, he would be down. Another moment, and the crowd would have dragged Ames from the house to his hanging. But then...
You stop! Stop! Let me shoot! It's a redskin! Todd's with him, and so's Bart. And there's Sam
Here! Here, men, you say John Ames killed. Them not dead.
The masked man was telling the truth.
Quiet! Everyone, quiet down. Tonto, you got here just in time. I was afraid something might have gone wrong.
Well, me come fast as me could. Not able to travel fast.
No, of course not. It wasn't your fault, Tonto. Well, here are the men you claimed Ames murdered. Now do you believe I wasn't lying?
We gotta believe you, mister. Can't disbelieve what we see with our own eyes. We're sorry for what almost happened.
Yes, you should be. Justice is for the law, not for mobs.
Maybe so. But if these 3 skunks pulled a stunt like this just to get Ames killed, it seems to me they ought to be strangled.
Well, do you 3 hear that?
Listen, mister, we got a right to a trial.
You'll get a trial on one condition.
What's that?
Ames claimed that he went to jail for a stagecoach robbery and a murder he didn't commit. He claims you 3 were guilty. Testified against him, so the case would be closed with his conviction and you'd be safe. Is that true?
No, it's not.
All right, Jeff, take them. No need to hold them for the sheriff after all.
Oh, wait, now don't turn us over to them fellas, mister. They'll hang us.
Isn't that what you deserve? Unless you tell the truth.
All right, we did it. We'll admit it. Just don't let them hang us.
There you are, Sheriff. You just got back to town in time to receive these prisoners.
It'll be a pleasure. I've been listening to most of this from the outside. What's more, I've taken these 3 to jail peaceable. There'll be no more lynch talk around this town as long as I'm sheriff. You fellas should have learned a lesson.
Sheriff, wait. Where's the masked man? He slipped out. I wanted to thank him.
You got as much chance of that, John, as getting off that bed and flying. You hear that? He don't wait to be thanked. He's the Lone Ranger.
This is a feature of the Lone Ranger Incorporated, created and produced by George W. Trendle, directed by Charles D. Livingston, and edited by Fran Stryker. The part of the Lone Ranger is played by Brace B.